You. I want you. Alright, I'm gonna let this just chillax for a moment. We're back at it again with playing some more Pesterquest. Every time I talk about Pesterquest, my aunt thinks of an old Nintendo game called Pesterquest. And I'm like, no, I'm talking about Pesterquest. It's a Homestuck game because I'm a giant Homestuck weeb. Well, I'm a giant weeb regardless, but hi Daisy. I have my co-pilot Daisy. She's going to be chillaxing with me. I'm sorry about the fan noise. I, again, live in my van. And I live in Florida. It's hot as hecky. I need a fan in order to survive. Most of the day I spend time inside my aunt's house. And then at nighttime I come and go to bed in my van. So I do spend a good majority of my time in my van though. Yeah, we're gonna sit here because I'm gonna be doing Dave's route now. I love Dave. Dave's my favorite character in Homestuck. Also, happy 413. Yay. If people are wondering who don't watch Homestuck or read Homestuck, Homestuck is one of the longest web comics running on the internet. It started back on or the second iteration of it started on 4/13 of 2009. And it follows the premises of, like, it starts off with 4 kids playing a game that destroys the universe. Yeah. So we're... Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I did the right button. I thought I hit the wrong button. Hopefully soon I'm going to be able to do my, my little avatar that I have created. I gotta figure out how to do that from the tablet. Oh, Daisy and her belly. Hello, belly. You want belly rubs? Okay, we'll give you belly rubs. Hello, belly. Hello, belly. Hi, belly. Okay, we're gonna get started. My favorite character. Let's be real. As much as you enjoy your new friends, they all seem a little lonely, like maybe they don't have any friends besides the ones they talk to online. Is online friendship a reasonable alternative to a more traditional face-to-face friendship? Are relationships, and dare you say families, that you choose not just as important, if not more so than those you're able to touch and feel? Damn, maybe being a little too real. You decide not to think about it too hard. But if you're being honest with yourself, maybe you aren't terribly interested in the greater context of found family and interpersonal relationships in the instant message era. You've got a fever, and the only cure for this disease called friendship is to mildly inconvenience a few teenagers. You love this music, huh, Dace? As much as of a delight as it's been to make a young boy face his existential future, rob a woman of her boo stash, and then self-reflect about the value of contextual relationships, it's all felt a little heavy-handed. What you need is an emotional palate cleanser. There are 2 kids left on this tour de force, and both sounds like they'd make exquisite friends. Time to go full on easy mode here. You've heard so much about this guy, you feel like you got this one in the goddamn bag. With confidence, you set yourself onwards. What am I looking at? My favorite character. Oh, the Daisy belly. I'm sorry. Daisy has graced me with her belly. Hello, belly. Hi, Bailey. I love you, Bailey. Oh, you're already here. Wherever here is, it is blisteringly hot. You nigh instantaneously regret your choice of apparel. Why would you instinctively put your hoodie back on over this robe? Down? You the mailman or mail person? This must be Dave. Rose mentioned he talked a lot, and as you start to explain, it becomes apparent he is having this conversation at you, not with you. Wow, it is unbelievably humid. Yeah, okay. Person adjacent. Anyway, Egbert told me you'd show up eventually. Which I never doubted for a second, since one of the core tenets of the United States Postal Service is that you visit 4 extremely specific and spread out teenagers while sweating all over yourself. Practically a crime to not be increasingly moist while out here delivering letters on the roof of a skyrise. Which, as you know, is the most effective and legal way to drop off the post. Clammier than a New England potluck and wandering around on the roof with no package. It is actually really cool how much this kid seems to talk at you, but you are barely listening. Has the sun always been that red? Has the sky always been that wavy? Welcome to Texas. Oh, Daisy Belly. Hi, Belly. Hello. Hello, Daisy, my cohort. My cute little baby. Hello, Belly. I love you, Daisy, too. Yeah. Are you alright? You are hardly alright. You tug at the collar of your soggy mess of a hoodie. This is an overwhelming, oppressive heat, and almost impenetrable air fills your lungs as you try and take a series of shallower and shallower breaths. The world fades to white. Bro's computer. Fucking little cow. Fuck you, cow. When you wake up, you're sitting propped up on a cheap futon in front of a large television. A rough approximation of a person does an elaborate series of controlled falls, culminating in what you can only describe as skateboarding for assholes. On your left, Dave exists in a quantum state that is both somehow sitting and laying down, but also neither. With the precision of a Swiss watchmaker, he deftly presses a series of buttons that makes the awful polygon man on screen T-pose and fall face forward into the ground. Seconds later, his skateboard flops helplessly next to him. He doesn't look away from the screen as he speaks. So, I guess you lived. It's not that I'm I'm invested, but John might be sad. Classic John. You try and emulate his incredible casual body language as you slide your body down the futon, your legs already barely reaching the ground. Yeah, that guy's a dork, but I taught him everything he knows. You ask him if he taught him how to be a dork. You affect a completely uninterested face, as though the sickness of your 3rd-degree burn is not the single most exciting moment of your entire life. God damn. Owned in my own home. Owned within an inch of my life. I'm on the edge, reaching out the hand of friendship, and this chucklehead, long live the king's me. Thousands of gazelles trample my useless body as Jonathan Taylor Thomas's persona watches on. Who will raise Simba now? Who's going to teach him about combat? Philosophy. Life. By the way, I put your nasty sweatshirt in the shower. The shower, or dope. The shower. What? The shower? Yeah, it smelled, so I tossed it in there. Ran the hot water. You could thank me later. Won't someone need that? You don't want to put anyone out. You've already taken up so much of their hospitality. Also, you don't think that's how you're supposed to wash clothes. Nah, my bro's out for a while. It happens sometimes. Probably puppet related. He avoids the laundry minefield by opting for the nuclear option, though you guess that makes sense. There are a lot of puppets around, which strikes you as extremely normal and reasonable and not even a little whack. Yeah, puppets rule, end of story. Shit, close the book on that one. Time for Betty Bye Kid. Little man about to get his 8 to 10 on, snug as a bug in a fucking rug, tucked the fuck in tight as can be, on his way to Slumberland. Nemo who? Never fucking heard of him. Shit, hold on. He sits up to fish something out of his pocket. A palm head. A phone! He gets a phone from his pocket. You're not sure what you were thinking. As a perfectly normal human being from 100% real and tangible Earth, you know what a cell phone is. What is that, a first gen? Yikes. He ignores your jab and you pretend not to be reading over his shoulder, though it probably cannot be more obvious that you are. Hi! Did you meet the mailman? My guy, we have gone over this time and time again. How do I put this in terms you can understand? Have you ever met a mailman in your life? Even in that shitty Costner flick you love, the dude has the decency to at least wear the outfit. I knew you watched it. No, I never waste my precious time watching even a single one of the Z-list garbage you try to wreck me. I'm just stating stone cold facts. I just read an outline and browsed a few review sites to see what people were saying. I don't know, it sounds like that probably took a lot more time and effort than just watching the movie itself. What I'm saying is this isn't a mailman. I don't even think this is a person. You have thrust a person-styled entity into my life under the alluring guise of parcel delivery, which, if I'm understanding right, this clown isn't even very good at, on account of how bad they bungled the only delivery that mattered. At least Lalonde had the good sense to be skeptical of this absolute fucking tomfoolery. Don't be a dick, the mailman is cool. John, I cannot stress this enough. You don't know cool if it bit you right in the ass. Can you imagine? No. The dopest person you've ever met chopping away. Just really getting up in there. Ice cold and ear deep in a king's feast of ass. What the hell are you talking about? Try to keep up with this, try to keep up, Egbert. This will be on the quiz. He looks uncharacteristically startled as he glances back in your direction to find you only a few inches away, adamantly reading his private conversation with a friend. Jesus Christ, you're like a cat. How much of that did you see? You definitely didn't see him having a playfully flirtatious chat with a longtime friend, if that's what he's asking you. Dave desperately tries to refocus on his game, hijinks. He makes his character, who you see he has named Tony Cock, do what could be described as some insane flips and shit. Masterful. There's nothing at all flirtatious about two bros discussing eating ass. Just being straight as two arrows who are also straight. I mean, how would that even work? It wouldn't, that's how. That's all there really is to say about that. You reassure him that it is okay to be honest about his feelings. You're not here to judge him. John seems very nice. They would be cute together. Together? Like, how? No, don't tell me. I actually don't give a single shit about this line of thought. You might not have picked this up, but I'm definitely 100% not a homosexual. Pretty much calling in moist, voluptuous hoes on the regular. Wait, hoes are real? Hell yeah, hoes are real. And they're damp? Shit, it's like I gotta start at square one with this hapless asshole that... What school do you go to? The utter astonishment you feel at this earth-shattering revelation sends your consciousness for a spin, but you manage to steel yourself. This isn't your first tough customer. You tell Dave that hoes is a gender-neutral term. Anyone could be a hoe if they believe in themselves. Hoe-like behavior knows no limits, no master. Despite just learning that were real mere moments ago, you are confident that to be a hoe is to be free. God damn it. Oh, that's pretty dope, I guess. It's not... It's not like I've never thought of it. I mean, for the ironic payoff, obviously. Can you imagine the look on his face? His best bro coming up to him with some dire news. I look up at him, eyes red with tears, as I put a hand on his shoulder and say, John, not to alarm you, but I am gay now. Your clueless dipshit wiles have finally won me over. No, that sucks. His speech has become even quicker than normal as he stands and paces frantically around the apartment, completely abandoning his poor Tony. I mean, and this is purely hypothetical. If I liked anyone, which I don't on account of being too fucking smooth to tie myself down, it would probably be another one of my friends. You don't know her, she's not from around here, so that basically means I can't have a thing for John. Poor Dave. Case closed. By unanimous decision, the jury finds in favor of the defendant, me, ... It seems to you like he's got a lot to think about, and maybe this is a little heavy for the first meeting. You already feel emotionally exhausted. No fucking way we're in this for the long haul, partner. His Texan slang came out. We are entrenched in this shit. You and me are fighting on the front lines of isn't he World War I. Troops are spilling over the embankment, armed to the teeth with various literature and pamphlets. I'm already learning so much about myself. Oh, is that good? The enemy is at the gates of my sexuality, and our air support is nowhere to be seen. If I don't make it, tell my wife or maybe husband I died like I lived. Completely baller in every conceivable way. This conversation train has not just gone off the rails, but is crashing headfirst into the nearest village. Just some unsuspecting hamlet fallen prey to this out-of-control ride. This is no longer a conversation you have any say in. You desperately look around the room for anything else to talk about. So, puppets, right? Oh, no. You fucked up, mailman. You opened the floodgates of introspection. We are balls deep in the discourse waters, and there's nobody to blame but yourself. He stops pacing to look contemplatively. His voice lowers to a mumble. Is he still talking to you? Does he still want to talk about this or not? Is it nearly impossible? It is nearly impossible to tell. What is going on? It's nearly impossible to tell. Now, okay, hear me out, but do I have to come up with a gay name now, or can I still be Dave? I'm thinking Gave, but let's not kid ourselves, that's the amateur choice. Obviously, my full title would be Gave Strider Dick Rider. Okay, that's enough. There has got to be a better way than this. You are so tired. Abscond. Dope. You are definitely the sort of person who says dope often and casually. You tell him dopely that you are a person who is not caught up in the small details of decorum or personal proprietary. In fact, it doesn't bother you at all that he took your only worldly possessions and tossed them in a shower while you were unconscious. What's some light corpse looting among bros? Huh, okay. While it dries, you can wear one of my bro shirts. He usually has a fresh stash hidden in here. Dope, tight, sick. Nothing weird about hiding some shirts in the living room. Just gonna have look-see. Holy shit, there are a lot of puppets in here. Yeah, dude, puppets own. Enough said. My bro's got the market cornered on puppet-based endeavors, backed up against the wall like a feral beast hissing for more plush-oriented content. Little guy's probably just scared. It just wants to protect its nest and mouth-to-mouth feed its babies only the choicest puppet smut for a reasonable fee. What the fuck does any of that mean? You look back to Dave, but he's on his phone. God damn, that is so cool, actually. There's something weird about this whole setup that you just can't put your finger on. For one, you can't seem to find any secret shirts anywhere. It's just puppets and plushes and DJ equipment. Oh my. Yeah, with my bro, you have to think of the potential for ironic payoff. That guy's always one step ahead. Just when you think you've got it figured out, it was all just some trap to make you think you've gotten his goat. But the goat is long gone. Makes you think maybe there never was a goat. Maybe it was some other barnyard animal all along. You've been duped into looking for a goat like some dumb asshole. Or maybe the goat gets you really subvert the whole thing. You take a second to wonder if he is really using the term ironic correctly in this instance. By dictionary definition, yes, a goat getting you is the opposite of how the situation should go. Thank God you settled that. As you are about to reassure Dave that this joke tracks, you catch some movement in the corner of your eye. Was that a camera? It couldn't have possibly been a camera. Oh, nope. There it is again. There is a camera coming out of the ice dispenser. That is creepy. Bro, you are a creep. It whirls softly as you approach, its mechanical eye trained on you. How long has this thing been watching? Is this Dave's? You lean in to take a closer look, but your foot catches on something. You fall flat on your face. Dave seems too engrossed in the conversation he's having on his phone to pay you much mind, occasionally mumbling something out loud a few times before presumably typing it out. You search for whatever it was that made you beef it so royally. You know, beef it like fall down. That is a real phrase that humans say. A small tripwire stands taut a few inches off the ground. You must not have disturbed it enough to set off whatever contraption it's attached to, apparently. Oh yeah, sometimes they're more of a psych out. You think, oh fuck me, I definitely beefed it, which is a phrase that is real. And you sit there waiting on bated breath, prepared to be fucked deep in a velvety marionette dick. And it never comes. And you go the rest of your day just waiting for the payoff from your dipshit mistake, and it never comes. You wake up in cold sweats for weeks, yearning for a release that will never find you, and it hits you. You've been fucking bamboozled by the master yet again. There's no elaborate booby trap. No Rube Goldberg device set to enact a series of complicated shenanigans, ultimately resulting in being buried alive in Kermit the Frog's plush amphibious dong. Beautiful, really. Damn, bro, you live like this? I mean, yeah, I guess. Keeps me on my toes. Heels never even meet the ground. A prima ballerina with a head full of dreams and nothing to lose. God's gift to piles, ripping a straight tasty tour and layer for my adoring fans. They go apeshit for this sort of thing, but it's just another day in the life of dance floor extraordinaire Dave Strider. Haven't fallen for a trap like that since I was a baby. Trained, real rookie mistake, mailman looking tired, maybe. Drained. Oh my god, he is mumble rapping at you. This is the greatest day of your life. got more plush ass than a puppet lost and found. King Strider drops the illest fires, cause heavy is the crown. A rhyming puppet with puppet. Call that puppet rhymes. Killing all ventriloquists. Puppet on puppet crimes. He goes on like this for some time with what could be described as bars of a similar caliber. The narrative focus shifts to your inner thoughts out of necessity, because it turns out writing raps is really hard. He isn't exactly great, but you're not really a rap expert despite what your social media opinions might imply, unless you count Hatch to Dance, which of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Wait, what does that mean? Why did you think that? The whole scenario feels a little weird and familiar to you. All of these kids feel familiar to you. You learn something new about Dave and you feel like you already sort of know it. You can't place it. Despite having met Dave no less than an hour ago, something feels just slightly off about him. Something about his actions feels so performative in nature, like he's pantomiming in front of an audience. As Dave continues to rap, you remember that you are in front of an audience. You cast a glance over to the camera, but also to the hundreds of stuffed little creatures staring at you with their lifeless eyes. Amidst your revelation, we check back in on Dave because I'm getting paid to write this, so I should probably make with the fucking jokes already. Oh, someone said hello. Hello, happy 413, Marathi Kurigati. How are you? Master of my tool, I am the ace. Hardware, got more hose than a gardener. Yard care, nice. The chaotic and surreal energy of this scene sends a shock of nervous energy down your spine. You feel alarmingly nude without the comfort and familiar warmth of your sweater. There is something about it that grounded you, something that felt like home. I'm doing okay. I'm doing a 413 stream. I did a stream yesterday. Where I did Rose and John. Dave concludes his masterpiece with an elaborate series of yes and uhs, just as you see the camera turn away from him ever so slightly to focus on something else before retreating back into the ice dispenser. It's almost makes it look a little bashful. That's kind of adorable, actually. Despite the fanfic you've written in your head about a cool kid and his new best robot friend, the reality of the situation sets in. You have yet to make friends with this character, and it all has kind of felt surreal and weird to you. Maybe it's time to zap back and hard reset this continuity to try again. What does that mean? Feels like I'm missing an important part of the puzzle here. Did he read or hear that? How does this work exactly? Sometimes you can just narrate what you're thinking. Kind of baller move. Why has nobody called you out on this before now? I haven't played all of the troll ones. I'm currently playing from my tablet. Because it's just easier to just stream on my tablet for right now. You put your hand on the counter to stabilize yourself, and your fingers brush up against something clandestinely polo. Just barely poking out from beneath a pile of discount plush nobodies is a neatly retail folded shirt. Wear the shirt. Don't wear the shirt. We're gonna wear the shirt. Obviously, you're gonna put the shirt on. You don't want to be the only one not wearing a cool shirt. Do you need some privacy? I'm not sure where one layer of you ends and the other begins. Doubt the audience cares. What? Alright, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a nice evening. Oh, you guys being on camera like this is kind of fucking whack, you say, so pointedly your sprite even shows up on screen for a second. Yeah, that's right. We went all out for this one. You were wondering if there was a place here that wasn't under constant surveillance. Like, how does this kid take a shit in peace? You know, everyone's thinking it. Dope line of questioning, and I'm sure the public at large is eager to know the answer too. But my room isn't wired up, no. About to get you fired up though. Menrings multiplying with my... Maybe not the second. Alright, damn. You accompany Dave down the hall to his room. You hear the shower on as you pass the bathroom and you peek inside to see your hoodie and a nice gown on the tile being uselessly wetted by a low pressure steam. You're welcome, by the way. Dave motions you to go in first, giving you the privacy you need to change into an extremely starched polo shirt and nothing else. This collar will not go down. This is absolutely what someone in 2009 would think is fresh as hell. You look around the room for a bit. There are so many things in here. This would be the 13-year-old's wet dream, but to you it seems a little much. It feels like this is a bunch of things someone thinks they should like. Let the fan art reflect that you've put on the shirt. At this point, there isn't a mirror in here, but you can tell that this is someone out there's idea of a look. The door opens and Dave is standing there, but not walking in. He's leaned up against the door frame sipping a juice. Where did he get a juice? What the fuck? Hallway juice, my guy. Hallway juice? What, you don't keep food stuff stashed around your house? What do you do when you get hungry? No, that's not it. You mean you usually just keep it in the fridge or whatever? Too obvious. Somebody help this useless clown. You're sure, Dave, that you have met many clowns in your day and only some of them were useless. Name one. You can't. Why did you say that? Clowns are awful. Everybody knows this. Guess he's got you there. You know, despite the overwhelmingly plush decor of the rest of the house, there is a distinct lack of puppets in here. That's more my bros thing. Not that they aren't deliciously sick, just a whole hospital ward full of the illest children you've ever seen. Each one more up to pup than the last. Up to pup? Yeah, pup. Like puppets? You're gonna be honest, it doesn't really seem like his heart is in it. How do you mean? Well, it's just that he doesn't really seem to be all that into puppets. Feels a little performative. Hi, baby! Oh, the Daisy Belly. Hello, Belly. Oh, no more belly? Okay. Okay, no more belly. Oh, what did Daisy do? Oh, big stretch. Well, I guess I got my own stuff I'm into. Like, if I were to rank it 1 to 10, I'd say puppets are a solid 7. Puppets are a solid 0. You got this kid on the ropes. Just one more push. Oh shit, I hit the button. In fact, you go so far as to say the puppet thing sort of sucks. It's extremely weird. The cameras, the hiding things like an animal, it all seems a little, you know, whack. For a while, he just seems to be looking at you almost as if he's sizing you up. There's a long stretch where Dave doesn't break eye contact with you as he finishes his cute little juice and crumples it up. He takes an ambitious shot at the trash can and misses by about 7.5 feet. Damn, I could have swore I had game. You're throwing me off, mailman. Yes, that is correct. You are a faithful employee of the Postal Service. I mean, I definitely believe you, but let's say I didn't. Let's say I had a cool friend who, even though they're too cool to care about details like this, they are a little skeptical of this whole situation. Maybe they want some proof you are who you say you were before they let you get any closer to their friends. Just throwing the hypothetical out there. What proof could he possibly need? Say the oath. What? The oath. The mail oath. Oh, look, the thing about that is, I mean, unless you aren't really a mailman. Behind his sunglasses, Dave's eyes shift ever so slightly to what you might describe in a less immediately harrowing situation as a moderately priced-looking mall katana mounted to his wall. You realize that maybe now isn't the best time to come clean about your impeccable ruse. You can't believe you have managed to put yourself in mortal peril yet again. You wordlessly chuckle and shake your head. Oh, the situations you get yourself into, haha. Dave, not privy to your private thoughts, for once, looks on. Why, of course you could recite the mailman oath. You say that with a confidence that is as misplaced as it is unfounded. You perk up, now is the time to shine. Maybe it's the collar, but you're feeling good about this one. Daisy, I love you. You got this. You have lied to tons of kids. One more and it will be smooth sailing from here on out. You open your mouth and there's a brief moment where everything feels like it's going to be okay. You immediately start sobbing and crumple on into a disgusting mess on the floor. Fuck. Wow, okay. Jesus Christ. You're not a real mailman. You've never were. You don't even have a real mailman outfit. You're a fraud. You don't even know how much stamps cost. Oh my god. Jesus, Jess. Okay. It's gonna be alright there. Dave squats down next to your deflated body and pats you a little awkwardly on what he assumes is your shoulder. You say you are sorry you tricked him, you just wanted to impress him because John said he was so cool. It's fine, I guess. Fuck, dude. Get a hold of yourself. He tries to get up, but you are desperately clinging to his shirt, confessing everything, confessing to made-up crimes you didn't even commit. Look, my guy, we all make mistakes. Please stop whatever this is. I'm pretty sure you are harmless, and I don't think you actually killed anyone with your ass or whatever. Holy shit. Hold up, I'm sorry. I can't for a moment. I need to laugh. Okay. Shit. Okay. And I don't think you actually killed anyone with your ass or were ever an accessory to burning down an alien mall. Oh shit. I'm sorry. Or whatever insane shit you just said. Yeah, you kind of got caught up in the moment and just started saying made up shit. You asked Dave if he's mad at you. Nah, dude, get up. Dave helps you back up onto your feet. You come clean in an only slightly more controlled and dignified way this time. You explain how there are these huge gaps in your memory and that you somehow ended up with these abilities that let you traverse time, space, time, and sometimes even reality itself. Let me get this straight. One day you just appeared in a suburb. No memories except that you have some mysterious teleportation power. You dig through some unsuspecting chump's mail looking for clues. And through some ridiculous universal happenstance, you just so happen to stumble upon the most gullible fucking dork in the universe. Befriend him. Also, I'm there via text. Egbert gives you a list of friends to visit. Out of all the choices available to you, myself included, you go see Rose first. Rose fucking Lalonde. Even though we built up such a good rapport, when I told John you weren't a real mailman, called it by the way, your first instinct is to visit the most heavy-handed of us all for some light kinship. A power move, I guess. Mailman out here wave dashing for friendship. Can't even spare a neutral for an old strider, huh? Won't even back into a corner and spam your ranged attack from the D-man. A tragedy in 2 acts. Both acts are titled Betrayal. You definitely understand what is being said and absolutely don't have to ask your friends what Cool video game words are, you are 100% not pulling the boldest how do you do, fellow kids, the world has ever seen. Besides, is that really the thing to be focusing on right now? You fucking wound me, mailman. Of course it is. I was gonna say whale man. Nothing is more important to me than this. They say that most humans only use 10% of their brain. That's because I'm using 90% of it to think. How dare you? So anyway, you could really go anywhere, see anybody you want. Sounds nice. For all but a moment, the act drops and you see the corners of his mouth tighten a little. The fading afternoon light filters through his sunglasses at just enough of an angle to see his eyes shift ever so slightly towards the window. Those subtle movements would surely be lost on most if you weren't so focused on trying to read him, or even just slightly further away, you may have missed it yourself. There was almost a loneliness in his voice. It must be hard to live here by yourself, so far away from the people who care about you. It's possible that you have been so focused on trying to blindly make friends that you've forgotten that in front of you is a real living person. You can't help but wonder if there's something you could do. You said you could take people with you, right? Like, if you could teleport John around, would that work with anybody? This is it. The path to this kid's heart is clear as day. Fuck what you said just now. That friendship juice is so close that you could practically fucking taste it. You try not to look excited, affecting Dave's cool persona as you say, fuck yeah, you could take people with you. You scoop out your fingernails because for some reason that is what you do when you're acting cool. This works to the full extent it can, coming from someone who not but 7 minutes and 32 seconds ago was rolling around on the floor damp with their own tears. Did he have someplace in mind? Yeah. I mean, I got some ideas I could bounce off you, I guess. How do you feel about with a swift finger to his mouth, you cut him off. He doesn't seem to like that very much, but you still consider it a successful maneuver. There's no need for words between friends. You know just where he wants to go. Just think really hard about it. Think about where you want to be, Dave. Think about what is important to you. Think about what you really want. It will be more magical this way. Friendship is magic after all. You just made that up right now. Don't look it up. My little pony, my little pony, ah, my little pony. Sorry, I'll stop it now. Damn, guess that's true. He closes his eye and you put a hand on his shoulder. This is it. Putting your trust in the magic of friendship, you focus the power externally as much as you are able. Flashes of distant but somehow familiar imagery courses through you. The quiet stillness of the suburbs, the smell of the forest, the heat of an apartment rooftop, the ocean breeze. You extend it outwards as much as you're able. This is his rodeo. You are merely the vehicle? What the fuck? Oh, fuck yes! The two of you stand near a sign that says, please wait to be seated. A very cheery hostess has a brief exchange with Dave and ushers the two of you to an open table. Oh, hell fucking yes. There is no mistaking it. About to get my motherfucking breadstick on. This is absolutely an Olive Garden. Fuck yeah, it is. When you're here, you hear your family, dog. While you're still new to this, you can't seem to detect any irony in his voice. You thought for sure he would want to go to see his friends. You thought you had him figured out. First and last mistake, mailman. But you'll learn. I'm a mystery. Got that history. Fucked with the plot. My flows so hot. They leave you looking blistery. Radically ambiguous. My rhymes contagious. Out at the OG with my homie where the breadsticks are continuous. You know what? Fuck it. You just let him go on for a while. You don't even know if the last one rhymed, but fuck if you aren't charmed by this little bastard. What, you like this music, Daisy? Yeah. Hi, Daisy. I love you. girl. Hi, baby. You lean back in your chair and just absorb it all, sitting in the worst restaurant imaginable with your new rapping teen friend with the other patrons, while the other patrons do their best to ignore his incredible rhymes. After a short while, Dave abruptly stops freestyling and you open your eyes. Oh fuck, you know what time it is? No, your Sprite doesn't have a watch drawn on it. It's breadstick 30, no watch necessary. Fuck me, I love breadsticks. I never talk about it. This is a very real and hidden character trait that nobody knows about me. Well, that sounds like a very real and hidden character trait that nobody knew about him. We are certainly not finding this out now because of a series of seemingly unrelated events that probably changed the continuity of this universe, allowing these sort of otherwise narratively unimportant traits to shine through. Wow, he is really going to town on those breadsticks. Maybe this is all friendship needs to be, spending some quality FaceTime with a solid bro and just absolutely decimating some bottomless breadsticks at a bad chain Italian restaurant. They have really good breadsticks though. Maybe the real lesson here is friendship doesn't have to be a grand gesture or high adventure. Maybe the real friends, I understand you are having a moment, but I am absolutely going to eat your breadsticks if you don't stop talking about what friendship means to you. Yeah, man, whatever you want. Get that bread, son. Okay, there is a way to get kicked out, but bro. So I'm gonna try to get that ending where I get my ass handed to me by bro. Okay. Don't wear the shirt. Actually, you don't think you're fine as it. You think you're fine as it is. No reason to shake it up with yet another outfit. We'll have to eventually pay someone to draw. Let's take a second, reel it in for a bit. What the fuck is going on here? Isn't this like really messed up? No, what's messed up? Is how you deny my hospitality like this? I offer you someone else's property, and you have to find hidden among countless lifeless puppet corpses. And this is the thanks I get. Real cold, mailman. Damn, maybe I'll wear the shirt to protect me from this chill. Okay, enough, okay. Like, why isn't he in school? It's the middle of April. It's spring break, bro. Besides, I only subscribe to the School of Hard Knocks. Also, several YouTube channels and periodicals. So, pretty sweet deal over here, actually. You know he isn't really like this. You know he doesn't like living like this. Damn, is that true? What am I like? Apparently we got the foremost expert in Dave lore here. PhD in Strider Dynamics. It's the first day of school and I'm in class eager to learn. Got my pencil, got my freshest fit on. Got my dope new Trapper Keeper with the Lisa Frank dolphins on it. I used to have one of those. Look at them on there smiling like assholes. One blue, one pink, so we know it's not gay. Poor bastards don't know they're a cartoon. Saddest story I've ever heard. The little camera switches its focus from Dave back to you, gauging your reaction. Ignoring it, you assert that you aren't trying to say you know him, just that what? Okay, clearly you've struck some sort of nerve here, but nah, we're good. Tell me more about my situation. You really have been spending time with Rose, haven't you? You got me all figured out. Don't worry if you gotta look at the Wikipedia article for abandonment issues or whatever, I can wait. Despite how flat his voice is coming out, his body language has made a telltale shift. He's standing leaned up against the back of the futon. His hands are in his pockets. It would almost seem like he is sulking if you weren't so convinced he wanted to kick your ass. At the edge of your vision, you sense some movement. You didn't catch it exactly, but you're convinced it was there. You look over there, and there's nothing to be seen, perhaps another hidden camera. There is something unsettling about being watched this whole time. There it is again. Every now and then your eyes catches the faintest presence of something moving just out of sight. The whole place feels like it's faintly shifting around. Amid scanning the room, a particularly fucked up looking puppet catches your attention. God damn it, little cow. These little shits are everywhere, but this awful little man's stare stops your heart for a moment. Its cold eyes pierce you. Its plastered smile judges you. You look at it briefly as possible, if not for no other reason than to know how unsettling it is before looking back to Dave. What the fuck? What? Oh, that's just Cal. Cal's the realist. He certainly seems real to you. You could have sworn he just moved around on his own. Haha, yeah man, he does that. Don't think about it too hard. See, this is what you mean. It's not that deep. Look, I know you got some hero complex or something. Gonna swoop in and save these kids from themselves. Well, bad news, kid. That's not what this is, and heroes aren't real. John, I understand, but fooling Rose, too? The insane tricks this guy must have pulled. Dave has shifted his weight forward. While his voice has not risen above a mumble, there is enough of a tell to know that maybe you should back off. This friendship thing is tougher than you thought. You still on that, huh? You're still on about that, huh? Hi, Daisy. Look, I'm no expert on friendship, minus the fact that I absolutely am. But you ever think maybe coming into someone's home and fucking with their day-to-day life is a little rude? Hi, baby. Just a hypothetical. As per normal, I'm stone cold unbothered by this turn of events. A stoic bastion in the you're sorry, but did he just say stoic? What? Yeah, stoic, like unmoved. Does he mean stoic? I mean, I guess. Aw, peas, you've done it now. You weren't trying to embarrass him, oh jeez. You try and comfort him by saying that it's okay if he's never heard anybody say that word before. Maybe he's only seen it in text. He frowns and goes quiet. This does not seem to be helping. The kid is completely shut off now. You try and bring up the puppets again, no dice. You even pretend to be super jazzed about Cal, or whatever its name is. You want down, baby? Good girl. Get some water. Daisy says it's drink break. I get water too. Yeah. Okay. Or whatever its name was, seemingly shadow stepping around the apartment. Wow, so cool. Nothing. Dave takes out his phone and begins texting. Is that about you? Oh, B&T is telling your new friends how much you beefed it. This could ruin everything. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and this is the most desperate time you can recall. A friendship is on the line. Cal continues to phase in and out like a poorly animated anime character, moving so fast you can't keep up. You take a few steps towards Dave. You got to get him out of here, and you know just where to take him. About half a second into your stealth mission, you clumsily step on a puppet and it makes a pathetic squeak. Dave stops for a second, but after a few moments returns to texting at the speed of sound to whoever is on the other end. Cheese and crackers, you can hear the notification sounds popping off. Whoever it is responding back. You can't waste any more time. You teleport to him as silently as you can. Besides you, Cal's disgusting limp body falls haphazardly on top of a shelf. Guess he's done for no time for this. You slowly reach your hand, time to get out of here and fix this. A large adult hand grabs you by the wrist. You turn to see it belongs to a muscular man in pointy sunglasses who you wouldn't exactly describe as a twink, but not exactly a hunk. But most certainly not a bear either. In fact, why don't we just we talk about it for several... Oh, shit. Before you can begin your extremely important debate, you are falling unceremoniously out of a high-rise apartment complex window. You are, as you free fall, you think maybe he was more of a twunk. Bro suplexed you out the window. Hi, baby. You're gonna lay down there? Okay. I had to get that ending with bro. Okay, now we're gonna move on to Jade. It's been days and your stomach still hasn't recovered from Olive Garden, but you can't spend forever moping around. There are friends to make, damn it. Well, just one left in this set. Her name is Jade Harley, and though all three of your new pals consider themselves good friends with her, they know strikingly little about her life. The most you have gleaned is she lives on a mysterious island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with her grandfather and some uncommon breed of a dog. Their communication with her has been limited to internet messages and packages sent to a P.O. box in some podunk town called Haunt Switch. John said he would message her and see if she could provide an address, but you don't want to wait. Throwing yourself headlong into friendship has always worked for you. So you close your eyes, think islandy thoughts, and hope it works. But something strange happens as you channel your powers. A loud bark echoes somewhere in the distance, and a nuclear green energy sparks in the air around you. You catch a split-second glimpse of a massive green sun, and then you hit the ground on your hands and knees. The whole event can't have taken more than a second or two. You blink and focus your vision. You are inside of a room. The floor is smooth and white, and disruptingly the monotony in front of you are a set of similarly white paws attached to a lucis. You mean an animal. You slowly stagger up and look at him over. He is a very large and fluffy dog, his snoot held up high. A long green tongue hangs from his open mouth as he pants lightly, and the air around him crackles with electricity, making the fur on his back stand on end. Something about him feels so familiar to you, familiar twice over. His fuzzy and regal form reminds you of a warmth you once knew, but those neon sparks fill your stomach with dread. At the very least, he seems friendly. He leans in and drags his rough tongue along your cheek, leaving it tingling. His tail wags swiftly back and forth, and he keeps nosing at you. He seems fascinated. Aw, back down, boy! Is this friendly demeanor of his It is this friendly demeanor of his that leaves you shocked when he moves aside and you find yourself staring down the barrel of a rifle. It is held aloft by a bespectacled young lady in a sensible skirt who really has no business pointing such a big fucking gun at you. Okay, please don't panic and don't make any sudden moves. I've never shot a living being before, and it would make me very sad if I had to start now. Oh, okay, so this is happening now. Is this Jade? She doesn't sound like Jade based on what John told you. She looks more like a Gigi anyway, or maybe a Lynn? Right, the gun. Don't get sidetracked. You slowly raise your hands and surrender and try to put on your most inoffensive expression. You tell her that if she started shooting living beings, you would be pretty sad too. So why doesn't she put down the gun and... No way! I don't want to shoot you, but you are clearly a dangerous and unpredictable being, and I need to make sure I stay safe. My grandpa taught me a lot about gun safety and trigger discipline in case anything bad ever happened to me. So I know that good trigger discipline means keeping your finger on the trigger at all times in case you need to blow something to bits. Oh, fuck. Now let me make things clear to you. I am a very clever girl, and you won't be able to fool me as easily as you fooled the others. It's very obvious to me what you've been doing, and I knew you would eventually show up if I waited long enough. Sure enough, John messaged me not too long ago to let me know you wanted to visit, and so I prepared myself for your arrival. You've come to interfere with our lives, and now I want to know why. So you better start talking, okay? Okay, you say, what does she want to talk about? You're well versed on a variety of electric subjects, so you can go on about basically anything. Wrestling, modern art, controversial opinions on traditional jurisprudence. But you get the feeling that this is an interrogation, and you really have no idea what she's interrogating you over. That's a very likely story. I can put 2 and 2 together pretty easily, you know. You've never shown up in any of my dreams before, and now none of those dreams are coming to pass. Not to mention that I don't even see Prospect when I go to sleep anymore. And that can only mean that you've derailed the forces of fate. You've destroyed John's copy of Spurb, and somehow that changed everything. Not only could John not begin the game, none of us could, and none of the meteors hit like they were supposed to. It was like the universe changed its very fabric to bend to your evil winds. Whoa, evil, that's a little harsh. You'll cop to stupid, but evil is way too much. Don't play dumb with me. What else could motivate you to stop us from fulfilling our destinies as heroes? Heroes, John and friends are very nice, but they don't exactly strike you as heroes. That's because you don't know them like I know them. You haven't seen the shrines of Prospect or heard stories from the Queen or seen them in the clouds growing into brave and wonderful people. And now I'm beginning to suspect that those things will never come to pass. John's birthday came and passed without any fanfare, except for him supposedly befriending a strange mailman. And that day, the internet was full of people complaining about their beta copies of Spurb weren't working. And there was a huge scandal with the company. A little while later, I found out that this mailman was talking with Rose and had magical powers. I know a thing or two about magical powers, or at the least powers which seem to be magical to those who haven't studied their logical sources. But yours are totally different from anything I've seen. At first I thought you must be an advanced Durset agent come to sabotage us, but you definitely aren't from Durst. Maybe a Prosperitarian double agent. I also considered the weird trolls who keep pestering me. But they've been weirdly quiet lately, and you don't really give me that vibe. And obviously, you're not a human. Whoa, hang on. You're a human, right? She tilts her head and gives you a little really kind of look, and your stomach twists into knots. The more I look at you, the more I start to think you're like... how do I explain this? Okay, do you know what a furry is? Well, okay, that question is more loaded than her gun, yes? Alright, so a lot of artists I follow do your character here commissions, or also Yitch for short. Commissions, and you remind me of one of those. Does that make sense? You have no idea what a Yitch is. You cautiously ask her. It stands for your character here. Basically, an artist will draw a pose or scenario, but instead of putting in an actual character, they will leave a blank outline like a mannequin. You pay them to put your own character there. And when I look at you, I feel like I'm looking at one of those blank spaces. My intuition doesn't tell me anything about you, and you never showed up in my dreams. You're like my best friend Beck over here. A complete wild card, something I can't figure out. Which brings me back to my point. She had almost let her gun drop, and you had almost forgotten she was holding it, but she halves it back up to point it at you and steals her gaze. You are going to tell me why you came here and did what you did, and then you're going to help fix it. The rifle is really starting to bother you. We're gonna go with get the gun away from her. You can't let a good opportunity slip between your fingers again. You need to disarm her before she accidentally blows you to smithereens. There must be something else that will get her guard down. You ask about her grandfather, the one who taught her about guns. He must surely be a reasonable and mature man. Perhaps it might be best to bring him into the discussion. You could sit down, have tea, drop the gun. I don't know. Grandpa does love his tea time with guests, but usually conversations with him are really one-sided. Oh, is he that stubborn? Well, yes, he's a pretty obstinate man and a total blowhard, but as well, you may find him difficult to talk to on the account of the fact that he is also a stuffed corpse. Oh, cool. That's cool. That checks out. This is fine. Everything's fine. You love guests staring in a goddamn Hitchcock movie. This girl is clearly too unstable to be reasoned with. You need to disarm her and pronto. You steer the topic away from her grandfather. She surely murdered, and wait for another lull in the conversation. When her eyes start to wander and her grip slackens, you spring forward and reach for the rifle. She shrieks and goes for the trigger, but before she can fire, an ear-splitting bark rings in your ears and the world explodes into neon green. You feel weightless and empty, cocooned and bitter cold. For half a second, you think you just got avocado. But then you glance around and see the stars. An iridescent light show twinkling all around you, painting the vast expanse with beaded glimmers. It's transcendent, it is beautiful, you are at peace. Oh, maybe that's just the asphyxiation talking. Space junked! Okay, we're gonna stay calm and explain yourself. Alright, pretty much everyone except John has called you on your bullshit thus far, so you may as well give her the full confession. You absolutely did change the course of reality, but it was the result of a genuine fuck-up, not ill intent. It's kind of a long story, but you relate it as best as you can. Your strange lack of memory, an encounter with a bizarre magical artifact, the way you blundered into John's life and destroyed his mail as a result of your highly relatable social anxiety. The girl listens intently as you explain what brought you here, and then you offer an apology. You think that you have irreversibly altered the very fabric that threads her cosmos together. There's probably no way of putting things back like they were, and letting this lady go on her golden dream quest or whatever she was bothering about while you were distracted by her very deadly gun. Okay. You sound very sincere, and I like to believe you. So I'll take you at your word for now. Whatever shenanigans you've involved yourself in, I trust that you did not intend to cause any problems. Let's put all this ugly business behind us. The girl holsters her rifle, and you breathe a long sigh of relief. Sorry about that. I promise I only had the best intentions. It's cool, you tell her. You got the distinct feeling you've dealt with much worse. Yeah, I'd imagine a space hopper like you has been to all sorts of cool and dangerous places. I'm kind of jealous, really. But anyway, we never properly introduced ourselves. My name is Jade, and my dog's name is Beckreel. What's yours? You think this is the first time you have ever been asked your name, ever. You almost forgot you had one. You tell Jade your name, huh? That's a very unique sounding name, I like it. You tell Jade that you like her name too, and she beams at you. Thank you, I'm so glad my grandpa gave me this name. It's so pretty and fairly unique and just very likable. Hee hee. Anyway, why don't I show you around? I could give you a tour of the house and we could get to know each other a little better. Oh, that sounds great. You're an expert on taking tours of other people's houses, which makes sense since you don't exactly have your own house. Jade stares sadly at you. I'm very sorry to hear that. No, it's cool. You have magic now, so the trade-off is probably pretty fair. Right, this is, of course, my room. As you can see, I have a ton of pretty posters. This is my favorite. It was a gift from Dave, and I love it to pieces, even though it's honestly pretty dumb looking, but that's the point. Hee. She gestures to a poster of Dave's webcomic guys with animal attributes scribbled onto them. Most of the other posters are featured with anthropomorphic fauna drawn with significantly more finance. It all gives you a very furry vibe. But not in a bad way. You clarify. Her lips twitch in irritation, and it occurs to you that people are probably constantly either clowning on her for liking furry stuff or reassuring her that they aren't about to clown her for liking furry stuff. Well, I don't actually dress up in suits or any of that nonsense, but I really love animals, and I think it is fun to imagine what it would be like to be one, which is why I own so many animal toys, like the Manthro Champs, who are very silly but dignified fellows who are part animal and part Victorian era gentle sirs. Jade gestures to a pile in the corner heaped high with plushies and dolls of all sorts. Many of them look like man-animal abominations with curly mustaches, and other feature bright and puffy squid-like creatures. Oh, these are my squiddles. They're based off of a cartoon show. Rose says it's a bad show, but I don't believe her. Jade fishes through the toy pile and retrieves a dark bluish-black toy. And this is Inkabelle. She's my favorite. In one episode, she gets lost in the murky brine swallows and spends years completely alone, lost without any of her friends. But in the end, her friend Podlight tracks her down and saves her. It seemed so bleak the first time I watched it that I literally cried, but I realized in the end it was a very poignant tale. Drinky break. There we go. Jade smiles wistfully down at the plushie in her hand. She glances from it to another one of the squiddle dolls, and her expression tightens. She squeezes the doll just a little too hard, causing her a horrendous pitchy squeak. I mean, in retrospect, they are pretty silly, though. I mean, it was just a kid's show. Of course, there was going to be a happy ending. That's how those always work, right? Jade's still smiling as she tosses the doll onto her bed, but she puts so much force into the throw that it goes careening off the edge with a wheeze. You hear it plop onto the ground and magnetize itself to another squiddle. Its voice box lets out a weak yay! Jade stands up and brushes off her skirt. Her eyes fall to her bedspread, which features a striking cloud design. She sighs slowly and then assumes a bright smile once more. Anyway, let's go explore the rest of the house, shall we? I've got so much to show you. Jade hikes up her skirt and skitters down the spiral staircase 2 steps at a time, you're a little interested in the high-end devices laying on the workbench near her bed, and a glowing green crystal that you think is literally uranium, but Jade's already gone, so you tear your eyes away and follow. The landing below her room is small and cylindrical, and features only a gray closet-looking device and a platform to the floor. My room is at the top of a tower, but this transportalizer would take us to the garden quick and easy. She hops on and disappears in a flash of green light. You are a little nonplussed, but you seem weirder. You step onto the platform, hear a light click beneath your feet, and in an instant you are standing in a lush garden atrium. There are exotic plants as far as the eye can see, ranging from psychedelic floral arrangements to tropical fronds to fruits and vegetables. Tall windows blanket the walls and allow sunlight to stream in, and said windows are coated in a steamy mist. You feel like you got clotheslined by a rainforest. It's beautiful, right? You better say yes, you little fucker. Jade opens her arms and spins around, gesturing to her various gardening stations. You nod. It really is. Gardening is another one of my favorite hobbies. It's a great way to get your hands dirty and do some real work. Okay, and the end result is really vibrant and beautiful. Jade waves her rough and calloused hands at you and then strokes her finger along the pinkish petal of an amoeba. I can't say this word. Anemo, and hums a little tune toward it. One of its leaves seemed to curl toward her touch. When Jade pulls away, she skips towards one of the windows and motions for you to follow her. It's a beautiful island vista that awaits your gaze. To your left is a towering mountain that might just be a volcano, and ahead of you is a small bay filled with giant lily pads and an old mossy temple. Beyond the island, the sea stretches out to a shimmering horizon. Past that boundary line, an entire world awaits, ever out of reach. This is my home. This entire island belongs to just me, Beck, and my grandpa. It's a very peaceful place. The greenery is so lovely, and the bay is very fun to take a dip in. There's some mysterious ruins down there too. I've always been very curious about them, but Beck won't let me visit them. I guess he thinks they're too dangerous. Grandpa's been in there plenty of times before, though. Could her grandfather give her a supervised tour? Well, Grandpa doesn't really move much anymore. He spends all his time having tea parties in the foyer, LOL. He's quite old then. Hi, Daisy. You could say that. He did. Jade wanders away from the window and toward another one whose view is exclusively centered on the rolling blue. She presses a hand against the misty pane and sighs. You know, Dave talks a lot about coming to visit me here. I mean, all of my friends do, but Dave especially. And in his usual Davey way, of course, which means making lots of joke and not sounding very serious about it. Yeah, I'm itching to put on my safari hat and come tramping down to Doom Death Archipelago to get my ass murdered by Infinidog, the Eldritch Retriever. Stuff like that. I know he really means it, though. He wants to see me just like I want to see him. But it's just wishful thinking. He doesn't know where this island is. Even I don't know where it is. All deliveries here go through some company P.O. box my grandpa set up before he died, and it's not marked on any maps. Because this is a special island with all kinds of important secrets on it, I guess. Or it was special. I was special. But not anymore. Now I'm just a regular girl stuck alone on this dumb island for the rest of my stupid life. Whoa, you asked Jade if she's feeling alright. Yeah, I'm totally fine, just peachy, thanks for asking. Come on, let's keep up with this chore. There's no time for dilly-dallying. My grandpa's collection rooms are up next. The first one is full of his big game hunting trophies. I'd never shoot an innocent animal, and I think the trophies are pretty hideous. But I do have to admire his great work stuffing them, I guess. It is really hard to properly stuff and mount something, trust me. And he has some cooler stuff on the lower floors, like these badass knight statues. Are these faded blue portraits of pretty ladies? Anyway, I'm going to be honest, most of Grandpa's collection stinks. But I think what is important is that what it all represents to him. He's been on all sorts of incredible, amazing adventures, and he has this huge array of interesting things to show for it. You tell Jade that her grandfather sounds like a hell of a guy. He sure is. Back when I was little, he used to go on trips all over the world and come back with so many interesting stories and new souvenirs. I was so awed and I guess a little jealous too. Sometimes he would be gone for days or even weeks at a time, and it would just be me and Beck holding down the fort. I was always so happy when he came back, and I listened to his tales without making a single peep. But he never asked me if I wanted to come along for an adventure, no matter how obvious it was that I did. I guess that's just the way of life for adventuring folks. There's no time to be tied down even by the people you love. They can stay at home and wait for you to come back. That's how it was for my grandpa, at least. What about you? You're an adventurer too. You've visited all my friends, and you've surely been to other awesome spots around the globe. So I bet you left someone waiting for you too, haven't you? Frost floods your veins and nestles into your heart with a burning chill. For reasons that you don't quite understand, Jade tilts her head and bores into you with wide, curious eyes. One of her hands is balled into a fist, and both of them are trembling as she watches you. Geez, you're gonna have to coach another kid through parental issues, aren't you? You swallow down your sudden anxiety, force a smile, and remind Jade that you're suffering amnesia. Alright, well, it's just this feeling I get, I have great intuition. When she smiles, the corner of her mouth twitches. It's now or never. Would she like to talk? I said I'm fine, there's nothing to talk about. Unless you want to talk about, some of these flowers? Isn't this one a lovely yellow? Surely there's nothing wrong with a good old feelings jam, right? Jade's an expressive and empathetic girl. Feeling jam should be her thing. You think that, but she's still steadfastly ignoring you. Hey, how about this orange with a goofy face on it? Why don't we boggle at it for a while? Jade, something's wrong. You need to talk this out. That's what you do. You're a talker, so why don't you two... Oh my god, just shut up. Please just shut up your stupid fucking mouth. Of course something is wrong, and that something is you! There's a long pause. Jade stands there, her eyes wide, shocked at her own outburst. She wipes a tear from her cheeks, takes a shaky gulp, and then sprints back up the stairs. That didn't work. You stand there for a while, feeling like a tender AAA grade jackass steak with baked douchebag potatoes on the side. Then you sigh and steel yourself and make the trek back up to her room. Jade is nowhere to be seen. Beck is pawing clumsily at a large, suspiciously jade-shaped lump beneath the covers of her bed. You clear your throat and ask her softly if she wants to talk. It's cool, you say. You listen to teen drama all the time, and this is some particularly choice drama. Not that you like the drama, you clarify, you just kind of exist in this periphery of it constantly. You are a drama magnet. There's a long pause, and you're about to turn and leave when she pulls the cover off and turns to you. Her eyes are all puffy and red. Hey. I'm sorry I yelled at you. It's not really your fault. I mean, it kind of is, but you didn't know you were messing anything up. It's not fair for me to be pissed at you. It's just none of this is fair at all. Yeah, that sounds like life, alright. You sit down on the bed and tell her to vent about it. It's okay, you could take it. Okay. Have you ever spent your whole life waiting for something to happen and then it didn't? Well, your memory is pretty fuzzy right now, so you can't say you have, but you think you understand a similar sense of yearning. Good God, have you yearned? Yearning is a good word for it, yeah. Let me try and explain. When I went to sleep, I would see this beautiful golden kingdom called Prospect and hang out with people there. I wake up with these fuzzy, half-remembered feelings of happiness and visions of the future swirling around in my head. It was nice, it was a good life. But there was this very lonely feeling that I couldn't make go away no matter what I did. I would always tell myself, soon, Jade, soon it will all change. You will get to travel to Prospect in your waking hours, you'll meet your friends in person, and you will finally begin to live. Like, really live. I've waited days, months, years for the day to finally arrive, and then it never came. I was so sure that it would come on John's birthday. All of my dreams told me so. All of the signs were there, but it just didn't happen. And now I don't know what to do with myself. I was able to ignore the lonely feeling because I knew that it would disappear one day, but now that day has slipped me by, and it's like all those years are catching up and crashing down on me at once, and I feel so small and helpless. It's sad, like the loneliest girl in the world. I don't want to put this all on you, but that wouldn't be very nice, but it's not fair. And Jade vaults from the bed and stamps her foot on the ground hard. Her face is flushed and streaked with tears and snot. She looks awful, frankly, like someone who's been holding it all in for far too long. Beck gets up and starts looking at her cheeks, and she holds him off until she can wipe her face on her sleeve. Thanks, Beck. At least I've got you for a best friend, right? Jade settles back onto the bed, stroking Beck's fur softly. I have a lot of complicated feelings about all this, I guess. So complicated and painful that I'd rather just pretend everything is okay. But now I can't pretend anymore, and these feelings are all that's left. And I hate feeling so glum. I hate sitting around being all sad and useless. It's stupid and pointless and a waste of my fucking energy, and it's not who I am, and I'm just dumping it all on you. I'm sorry, I really am. Man, you just completely fucked up this girl's life, and she's apologizing to you. Now you feel like the delicious 3-layered shithead tiramisu served after that nice meal of steak and potatoes you had earlier. You really want to help Jade. And while you still don't quite get all of this magical moon stuff she's talking about, you do get how it is to feel to be lonely. That's something you can help with. You offer her your hand. Want to go see the world? She sniffles and lightly shakes her head. It's not going to work. Well, there's no way to know that unless you give it a try, right? She nods, stands up, and takes your hand. You focus on a familiar destination, John's house, but as you begin to dematerialize, Beck turns to stare at you, and you hear that familiar barking sound in your ears, and when the flash of light subsides, you're standing here in Jade's room, only a few feet away from where you started. What? See, I told you it wouldn't work. Come on, let me show you something. Jade hops up and shuffles down the stairs, and you follow. She takes you to the teleportation pad in the atrium. These transportalizers are all powered by thermal energy and use each other as beacons for the sake of easy short-range teleportation. But if you hook one of them up to a uranium converter and modify the coordinates specifically specified on the logic board, you could theoretically go anywhere in the world. Which I tried, see? She twists the top of the pad with her fingertips and pulls it off. It shows you the wiring underneath. It looks messy, like someone had made multiple attempts to rewire the circuits. But when I used it, it only led to the exact same thing that happened just now. Beck used his powers to prevent me from leaving the island. Maybe I got the coordinates wrong and I would have ended up stuck underground or something, but I checked and double-checked my measurements. I think Beck just doesn't want me to leave the island. He wants me to stay somewhere he can keep me safe at all times. Perhaps he heard his name from above, or perhaps he just has a sixth sense about it. Because Beck wanders down the staircase and over to Jade. She gives him a soft stroke behind the ear. I love him very much, but as long as he's around, I'm stuck here, and because of the changes you made, that is how it will always be. I'm just going to have to get used to it, I guess. Jade deflates against one of her gardening tables and offers you a wan smile. For a split second, you could swear you see droopy doggy ears and a tail tucked between her legs. Depression of this degree is simply not conducive to friendship, and even if it was, you would still feel pretty shitty about it. You should do something to cheer her up. Challenge Beck for superiority. Explore. Excuse me. Challenge Beck for superiority. It seems to you that the cause of Jade's problems, even though he's probably not hurting her on purpose, is Beck real. He's a good boy and he wants to protect her, but the time for that has passed. Jade has a new omnipotent friend in her life, and she's got places to be besides this island. There's only one thing for you to do. You need to establish yourself as the new alpha of the pack. You must win the right to escort Jade to visit her friends. This is how dogs work, right? Yeah, it is. It definitely is, you think. You square up and bend your knees. You square up and bend your knees and tense your palms. What are you doing? Don't worry about it, you tell Jade. You're practically an expert in Lucis wrangling techniques by now. In what techniques, she shouts behind you, but you're already charging. Beck doesn't see it coming at all, perhaps because it's such a spectacularly stupid thing to do. You go tumbling to the ground with him and manage to pin him. You know exactly what to do now. There's only one possible course of action, and it has been inoculated with such mimic gravity that you are entirely certain it will work as intended. Punch Beck in the snoot to establish superiority. You punch Beck in the snout to establish superiority and immediately realize it's not working as intended. He snarls and flares up neon green energy crackling around his body. You wince as heat washes over you as if you just opened an oven door, and your arm hairs stand stiff in electric terror. What were you thinking? This is a fight you can't win. There's blood! Beck lunges at you and sinks his fangs into you. You yell, pain splitting your sight, radioactive fire roaring upon your arm. You yank yourself away and instinctively try to teleport, but as you disappear, Beck's teeth catch your shoulder and hold on tight. Image background, no. Not found. The two of you are hurtling through the nothingness, and you're pretty sure you've left blood splatters on some meta-narrative construct like a website scroll bar or the RAN PY debug screen or some shit. Eventually, you come exploding back into cannon and bounce off a purple spire with an ungainly smack dislodging Beck in the process. You tumble onto a bridge and scatter some dudes in goofy gesture outfits, and Beck lands in front of you. Good boy, can we call it even here? He snarls and green flames crack the stone beneath his feet. So much for that. You throw up your arms in front of your face and squeeze your eyes shut as Beck lunges again. But you don't feel the sting of his fangs against your flesh. Instead, you feel the singular odd sensation of your body passing through Beck's, as though you have just had a window thrown at you. Like a reverse unifestation. The world beyond your eyelids strobe green, and when you open your eyes, you find yourself staring into a massive verdant sun. You think that when Beck went in for the kill, you must have phased through him as his powers surged. It was pure dumb luck. You can't imagine what kind of precious timing it would have taken to pull off that on purpose. The good news is that you're alive, but the blood loss is really doing a number on you, and you can't focus your powers. Your vision flickers at the edges, and there's a ringing in your ears, louder than the flickering flames of the sun. You only just barely hear a voice from behind you as your eyes glaze over. Who's this douchebag? Solix, be nice. This douchebag looks very injured. I think they're going to have to restart and try again. Better like next time. Game over. Explorer, you present your most finely honed smile of confidence and urge Jade to stand. This is no time to mope around. There is plenty of fun to be found without leaving this island. You suggest that perhaps with your help you could give her the opportunity to explore that temple she's always been curious about. Really, that would be super fun. But what about Beck? Oh, there's nothing to worry about there. You have a genius plan, you tell her. You tell her to just head on over to the temple and you'll take care of the rest. Okay, if you say so, but please don't do anything to hurt Beck, okay? I love him to bits. You wouldn't dream of it, not on this route at least. Jade transportalizes downward, and you turn your attention to Beck, who is idly sniffing at one of Jade's plants. You advance on him slowly, and with intent, you know what must be done. You know what must be done. You know what must be done. Pet the dog. You just get right in there. You pet the hell out of this dog. You employ all your strongest pamper techs, like the quick scritch up and mane massage and the rare coddle brand EX dog smite. Somewhere in the distance, a blue bird observes your masterful display and chirps happily. But suddenly Beck's head snaps up and he points his snoot in the direction of the temple. Whoa, 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 whoa there, buddy. There's no time to be thinking about Jade, and now it's belly scritches time. You start rubbing Beck's stomach and he flops onto his back with his tail wagging and his feet curled up. Who's a good boy? Beck looks at you and you see the cosmos reflected in his deep piercing eyes, and you understand he's a good boy and he knows it. After a while longer spent threading your fingers through his silky fur, Beck curls up beside you and yawns, starting to nod off. You kiss him on the forehead and then take the opportunity to slowly stand up and exit the room, letting the sleeping dog lie. You're a little worried about alerting Beck. By using your powers, he seems to be pretty keyed into that kind of space-time manipulation, so you just take the long route to the temple. Jade's Island is very beautiful, a very beautiful place with rolling hills and lush sun-bathed plains. It looks like a excellent vacation destination, but it also looks bare. There is nothing and nobody around except for the hollow whispers of the wind. You can see how this place would feel much less like paradise after years spent stranded here. When you reach the lake surrounding the temple, you see the giant lily pads outside have arranged themselves into a walkway that you can reach it. How convenient. You channel your inner frog and hop across. Hey, up here! Jade calls down to you. She's at the temple entrance far above your head, waving down at you. Grooves carved into the wall form a ladder that you can use to climb up, and soon you're standing beside her at the entrance of the temple. A huge imposing archway marks the ingress between the sunny island and the dark interior of the ruin. From within, you can see a faint yellow-green glow that seems to come from ruins carved into the walls. Spooky. You proceed through the entryway. Jade runs a hand alongside the glowing walls, her face bathed in the sickly green. At the end of the hallway is a large round platform decorated with cloudy designs and a glowing orb at the center. It doesn't pique your interior decorator, but Jade seems quite awed by the sight. This is Skya! I knew this temple had to be connected to that world in some way. Jade rushes onto the platform and it begins to descend. You quickly follow her before you're left behind as the elevator takes you down to an expansive and dark room below. Much like the rest of the temple, the space seems very sparse, and it is illuminated by the faint glow of the ruins on the walls. A large purple lotus flower rests upon a pedestal in front of the elevator, petals wilted. There is an electronic display built into the pedestal with a timer that could feasibly count down for millions of years, but it seems to be glitched, stuck on a few hours away from zero, with the second digit constantly ricocheting back and forth between two numbers. Jade places a hand on the pedestal and sighs. The number is stuck. I think this is a time capsule, but it's malfunctioning for some reason. Was I supposed to open it when the time was right? Now we'll never know. What else could this place be hiding from me? As if on cue, an elevator platform shudders and begins to rise behind you, and the platform ascends. It becomes clear that there is a pit beneath it, which is basically video game logic 101. Jade looks down into it, and you follow suit and see transportalizers? There's two of them, one a deep purple and the other a brilliant gold. Jade leaps down into the pit, which is a pretty brave maneuver because it's deep as hell and real life still has fall damage. She grunts and sinks to her knees from the impact, but quickly recovers and rushes over to the golden transportalizer. She examines it for a moment, then clambers on with a soft click. The pressure plate is depressed and the device surges to life. She disappears in a bright flash of light. Well, shit, you better follow her. You hop down and step onto the transportalizer, and the same flash of light consumes your body. You feel something like wind whipping around you as your molecules are dematerialized and then are reassembled in a new a glimmering golden palace. Wow, this place is way too fucking bright. Someone needs to crank the saturation down pronto. I don't believe it. Jade is looking around with wide eyes that reflect your golden surroundings. This is it. This is Prospect, the planet I visited in my dreams. I didn't think it was possible to get here like this. What does it mean? Why am I allowed to be here right now? Should I go talk to the queen? With that, she's off sprinting down the halls with a renewed sense of vigor. You scramble to keep up with her, threading your way through crowds of confused, white-shelled folks in fancy outfits. They kind of remind you of yourself, but with chitinous bodies. You sidestep a lady carrying a paint can and shuffle down a lengthy golden staircase adorned with regal golden spikes, and you can only barely keep your eyes on Jade's long black hair as it swishes behind her. When you finally catch up, she is in the middle of an argument with two burly fellows in white suits. She stamps her foot at them, but they are undeterred, blocking her passage further. Eventually, Jade wheels around to look at you. She tries to soften her expression for your sake, but her face is still sour. Ugh! The guards won't let me see the queen. Apparently, she's really busy with something. They told me I'm not supposed to be here and that I have to leave right away. This is totally bull. I'm a princess. I swear some of these idiots can't even recognize me with the pretty golden dress. Blug, I guess I'm not getting my answers here either. Let's just get out of here. She's off again, this time striding forward with her fist curled and her jaw set. You glance back at the guards whose furrowed brows strike you as more worried than ire, and then follow Jade. You're almost to the exit when you see it, a dark figure silhouetted against the sky is bright blue. They are humanoid in shape. They are with two leathery wings outstretched and inky black tendrils trailing behind. Crimson forces crackle in their wake and they swoop over the city like a bird of prey. Something about them gives you the major case of the heebie-jeebies, and you do a nervous little half jog back to the transportalizer and get the hell out of Dodge. The temple feels oppressively dark compared to the blinding bright of Prospect. You spend a little while blinking as your eyes readjust. The transportalizer you just used flares up red and then cracks. That's probably not a good sign, is it? You do what you do best, ignore it and climb out of the pit. Jade is standing beside the Lotus contraption, running her hand along one of the pedals with her face set. What does all of it mean? Was this here all along? Has my grandpa been to Prospect before? If I could go there, then it must still exist. The game must still exist, but how? None of it makes any sense. I need to think about this. You follow Jade slowly back to her house as she mumbles to herself, brows furrowed. You can barely catch what she's saying, but she's clearly thinking hard. The clouds have never been wrong before. Is it too early? Was this meant to happen? Once you reach the atrium, Jade lets out a sharp breath and nods her head resolute. She turns to you. All right, I think I understand. I know what's going on now. Great. You offer her your most winning smile. What's the sitch? Well, the truth is, I was always being very immature about the idea of being a hero and having a destiny. Life isn't like in kids' cartoons after all. Heroism isn't all rainbows and sunshine, and it's childish to think that everyone gets a happy ending. That kind of storybook stuff doesn't really exist. To be a real hero, you have to be prepared to suffer horribly. It makes sense when you think about it. If everything came easy, there wouldn't actually be anything heroic about it. Why else would my grandpa have put me on this island? Why else would Becca want to keep me safe here even now that everything's changed? It's because it's my destiny. I have to prove that I'm willing to suffer and willing to sacrifice. That has to be it. This can't all have been for nothing, right? That's not the way the world works. Everything has a purpose, even if it's not clear at first. Seeing Prospect in the flesh reminded me of that. My purpose is to do what I've always done, what my grandpa and Beck have helped me prepare for. I know I'll be really lonely, but in the end it means that everything will continue to play out the way it is meant to. It's a very noble job, and I've got to be the one to do it. You are at a loss for words. This really doesn't feel like you're the right takeaway from all this. But you don't know jack about Spurb or Destiny or any of that nonsense, so who are you to say otherwise? So thank you for helping me visit Prospect. I wouldn't have figured this out if not for you. And I'm sure that meeting me is one step along the way towards your mysterious fate as well. I'll be rooting for you. Jade erupts into a broad, beaming smile. It might be the first completely genuine smile you've ever seen from her this entire time, but this doesn't make you feel any better about it. The fact that it's more of a knife twisting in your gut than when she throws her arms around you and hugs you tight, the knife pushes deeper to the bone. Well, you probably have more important stuff to do than keep hanging out with me. I'll let you get back to it. Jade turns around and heads for the staircase, leaving you to stare at her retreating form. Is this it? Will you accept the new destiny written for Jade and allow her to stay trapped here on this island? Is this it? Accept? Do not accept. Do not accept. Some people might take this as a lesson in the responsible use of reality-altering powers. Some people might swear off manipulating canon entirely, but not you. What's the point of having sick-ass powers at all if you never use them? Maybe some god is going to punish you for the way you've been fucking with the universe, but right now, you don't care. This girl would burn herself to ashes to keep her friends warm. The least you could do is risk the flame for her sake. You quickly sprint up the stairs. Oh, you're not leaving? Don't you have places to be? I will be fine here alone, I promise. It's my duty. I'll get used to it eventually. You can't imagine she's okay with that, no matter what she says. Does she really want to stay alone for the rest of her life? Well, of course not. What I want to do is explore the world and hang out with all my pals. But it's not about what I want. It's about doing what has to be done. That's what it has always been about for me. Well, that's bullshit, huh? Maybe Jade's fate dictates she never played the game she wanted to play. Maybe heroes don't get a happy ending, but that doesn't mean heroes can't be happy. There comes a time in every young woman's life you tell Jade where she can't leave home because her pet is an overprotective god. Question mark. Okay, that's obviously not true, but there comes a time in many young women's lives where circumstances beyond their control leave them without an escape. Perhaps it is easier to believe that the escape will never come, but you can't let Jade do that. When life has you stuck at home, perhaps you can still hold on to hope. You can fight no matter how long you have to wait. You can keep looking for another chance to see the world. And if the universe tells you to sit, stay, and roll over, you look the universe dead in the eyes and ask, who do you think is the master around here? And then you tell it to motherfucking heal. Yeah? Yeah! You're right. Even now, I was still being childish. It was easier to tell myself to be miserable for a noble cause instead of holding on to hope and maybe getting hurt again. But I have to have hope. That's who I am. I'm a hoper, not a moper. Hee. I will keep trying to convince Beck that it will be safer for me to leave the island. Things have changed and maybe he doesn't realize it yet. He's kind of a silly, dumb dog at times, but he loves me and I love him and we can work it out. Maybe it will take a while, but I'll definitely figure things out. And while I wait, you'll come visit me sometimes, won't you? Of course you will. You're not in the habit of abandoning your friends. The idea is unthinkable. You promised Jade that you would come visit her. Come visit, come visit. A light bulb goes off in your head, one of those cool LED light bulbs, the kind that syncs up to your phone and changes colors and spies on you for the government. Party time. You ask Jade if she's ever had a slumber party. A slumber party? No, I've never had one. It sounds exciting, but is it really a party if there's only 2 people and a dog? It sounds more like a mild slumber hangout. Don't worry about it, you tell her. Just start getting the place ready for a bash. Pull out the sleeping bags, conjure up some lightly irradiated snacks, pump up the fresh jams, etc., etc. I don't know if we even have sleeping bags, but okay, I'll see what I can do. Maybe there's something useful in my grandpa's old supplies. You shoot her a confident salute and then dissolve into the ether of cannon. Alright, Edbert, up and at 'em, it's party time. Ah! John yelps and tumbles out of his chair, crashing to the ground in an an undignified heap. It looks like he was in the middle of debugging some code on his computer when you interrupted him. He disentangles his limbs and stands up with a groan. Okay, Magic Mailman, we need to get something straight. Your powers are extremely cool, but using them like this is kind of lame. Jump scares rank very low on the prank scale. They don't take any effort. They are just sort of mean and annoying. You apologize for scaring John. You're just in a very excited mood right now because it's time for a motherfucking slumber party. Oh, cool. I've never been to a slumber party before. Who's it with? You grin. Don't you already know who with, John? The American Association of Mailmen? You give him a blank stare. Alright, probably my other friends. That one should have been obvious. There you go, John. You tell him to pack up whatever supplies he thinks he should bring and then get ready for another whirlwind ride through space-time. I don't know. I should probably do the responsible thing and let my dad know I'm going on a trip, even if I will be back soon. Okay, that's fine. You tell him, but don't take too much time. This route's already getting pretty long. Oh, cool. Okay, what should I bring? Oh, I need to grab some movies. Definitely. Dave will be there, right? I should bring some McConaughey movies. So he realizes I was right all along about Matthew's stellar acting. Oh, and of course some snacks. This is a great time for me to unload all the excess birthday cakes my dad made me. Seriously, there's hundreds of them in the fridge. It is highly ridiculous. You wait patiently in John's room as he goes downstairs to fetch his bounty of cakes, talk to his dad, and do all his other preparation. It takes forever. You're not really sure what he's doing down there. You think he might be walking around examining all of the objects in his homes in great detail and solving a bunch of puzzles? Come on, John. That's not the right genre of game. Get your shit together. Okay, ready. Alright, step 2, go get Rose. You take John's hand and zap the two of you into Rose's mansion. John spends a while goggling at the giant statue of Zazarpan the Learned. Then you ascend the staircase towards Rose's room and knock on the door. Her voice comes from within, slightly muffled. You're home early. I've been hearing strange noises from the neighborhood lab of late. Have you? Rose opens the door and freezes. John? Her eyes widen and she slowly steps backward, which John takes as an invitation to stride into her room. Her cheeks darken and she scans the room, eyes flickering from mess to mess. Surprise, Rose! We are here to steal you away like the owl who kidnaps Harry Potter. That's not... She sighs and turns to you. Care to explain the sudden intrusion? It is normally considered polite to call ahead, especially when one is possessed of reality-bending powers. Oh, don't be melodramatic. There's probably nothing too embarrassing in this room. John furrows his brow as he glances around the room, eyes sweeping over the walls. He eventually settles on some pictures that have been hung up. I mean, look at these great drawings. Did you do those? That is so cool. I didn't know you drew stuff. Rose gives him the smile of a girl whose soul has just shriveled into a blackened husk. Again, an explanation would be nice. You explain that you've come to collect Jade's friends for a slumber party. I see. The commercial and critical failure of Spur must have impacted her more strongly than I anticipated. She was really looking forward to playing that game with us. Yeah, that's putting it lightly, probably. I would hate to disappoint her further. Consider this my RSVP. Rose gives you a curt nod and then turns to frown at John, who is poking around under her bed. Something tugs at the corner of her mouth. John? My mother is busy and will not be expected to return for a while. Why don't you and our strange friend go analyze her room instead? I need time to pack. Oh, okay, Rose, whatever you say. Rose shoves you out of the room with more strength than you expected from a 13-year-old girl and shuts the door hard. Man, I hope Rose realizes I was being serious when I said her drawings were good. We tease each other a lot, but she's really cool. John's speaking loudly enough that Rose can almost certainly hear him from the other side of the door. You think he knows that, but you don't say anything except to casually suggest that you and John go wait downstairs and admire all the ridiculous wizard art. He agrees. God, this house is so weird. Who needs a giant statue of a wizard? Where did they even get this? Well, and speaking of weird, I didn't want to bring this up with Rose in case it's just some funny story I'm not in on, but what's with all the writing on her? But John trails off as Rose descends the stairs with a neatly packed bag. Shall we? We shall, you say, with a hand on each of their shoulders. You close your eyes and concentrate on the Strider apartment. You're aiming for the hallway outside the front door, but this power is still taking some getting used to, so instead you pop into existence right on top of Dave's bed. He's tapping away at something on his computer, and as soon as you appear, his entire body tenses up. You've barely had a moment to react before Dave wheels around in his chair and flings a handful of shurikens at you. One of them grazes Rose's cheek so closely a strand of hair flutters to the ground. She turns to look at the weapon now embedded in the wall and runs a finger along the edge of the blade, squinting. Oh, Jesus shit! What the fuck, man? Wait, they used to sell a life-size figure? A statue? That's terrifying. And how are you tonight, Page of Rage? Did you have a good 413? I know not much actually happened on the way of Homestuck for 413 this year. But yeah, happy 413. What the fuck, man? Surprise? Okay, rule 1 of time travel or dimension hopping, don't fucking pull this kind of shit. I mean, seriously. Under any other circumstance. Oh, jeez, that... Nice on some exercise. I just spent most of the day, like, chilling with my dogs and, just chilling. Under any other circumstances, I'd be shitting my fucking nuts off about the opportunity to chill with my best bro. But dude, you can't just drop a guy's besties into the middle of his room out of nowhere like this. This is an extreme social fuck this word. Fuck this word. Fox paws, you gotta give a guy some time to prepare. Don't be melodramatic, Dave. I assure you there is nothing present in this room that can make us think lesser of you. If Rose was scared by the near-death experience just now, she doesn't show it. She hops off the bed and glances around. If you have any pornography out, it will only serve to confirm the hypothesis I have already made. Dude. Are these selfies? Are you doing the duck face in this one? Oh, man. Oh, for fuck's sake, John. You get a VIP all-access backstage pass, and the first thing you do is insult my stuff. Like some rowdy tool at the Nickelback concert rummaging through their closet instead of doing the musical world a favor and assassinating them. Well, yeah. You would do the same, dude. Touché. But anyway, aside from you getting your grubby hands all over my pristine collection of cool swords, what the hell are you all doing here? We're having a slumber party. Are you in? Oh. I don't know. Bro is basically always keeping tabs on me. Because bro is a fucking dick. Guy wants me to be safe, you know, or rather wants me to only be in the right kind of danger to teach me lessons about irony and being a dope-ass fucking ninja master. It's all some pretty intense supervision is the point being made. I was already getting some rank vibes from him after that little jaunt over to Olive Garden. Dave got in trouble for going to Olive Garden because he had to stuff his face with the breadsticks. Actually, the vibes have been off ever since John's B-Day, if I'm being honest. So I don't know how he'd feel about me gallivanting off on some magic snooze adventure with Slappy the time-traveling mailman. Seems like the kind of thing he'd take issue with. Oh, come on, he can't be that bad. What kind of guy wouldn't let his brother go hang out with his friends? Yeah, I guess. Be a pretty shitty kind of guy if he did that, wouldn't he? Dave stares off in the middle distance for a while. Rose observes him intently. Look, Dave, I don't think it would feel right if we all had a big party and you weren't there. Jade would really miss you. How ironic that your very demise would be in the proximity of some horses. Oh, shit. Is there gonna be horses? As would we. Yeah. Dave glances furtively around the room as if he's expecting a camera to blink at him from up in one of the corners. Bro, you're fucking weird. You're fucking weird. That isn't normal, dude. Alright, I'm in. Let me grab some subs. That's supplies for short. Hey, mailman, what's Jade's hell dog like? Do I need to bring one of these cool ass swords? Cool. These swords are like $5 Chinatown swords, aren't they? What? No. Okay, listen. While Dave grabs the stuff and John heckles him affectionately, Rose's attention has been drawn back to the shuriken Dave threw at her. You stroll over and ask her what's up. She responds with her own question. Have you been introduced to Dave's brother? Fuck yes, I have. He threw me out a fucking window. Not yet. You've heard a lot about him, though. For the sake of diplomacy, you've only briefly touched on the opinion you've formed. He certainly seems like a fascinating man, the kind of individual whose brain I would love to pick apart to find out just what twisted mechanisms fire off within its chambers. Rose, you don't want to fuck with bro. Don't fucking touch it. So, that's what she's thinking about? Dave's bro? Rose chews on her bottom lip. Not exactly, but an adjacent topic. I'm mulling over the ethical quandaries presented by the existence of power esoteric. What? It's nothing to concern yourself with yet. We have a party to attend, apparently. Right, David's done packing up people. You open both palms and suggest that everyone hold hands so you could best channel your powers. The twunk! The fucking twunk! Really? We're holding hands? God, this is so lame. But he does it, and when he collapses John in Rose's hands, he shifts around and blushes faintly in a manner that suggests he doesn't really think it's so lame. In fact, he may think it is the opposite of lame. He may think it is rad. It's probably the only most positive type of touch Dave's had. And he'd be right. Friendship is the raddest thing of them all. You're full of warm and fuzzy friend feelings as you teleport back to Jade's atrium. Wait, no, that's just the feeling of your body dissolving and reconstructing itself halfway across the canyon. They are very similar feelings. You head to the base of the staircase where you call out to Jade. Her guests have arrived, you tell her. Jade rushes down the stairs and nearly trips over her skirt. Her expression is tight and anxious, and when she sees your motley crew standing there, she freezes up. Her breath hitches into a half sob. You really did bring them. They're here. You're all here. Jade breaks into a red grin and sprints forward, launching herself like a missile at her friends. Rose and Dave were like, fuck that shit. Dave throws himself bodily out of the way, and Rose takes an alarmed step back, leaving John to bear the full brunt of her affections. She crashes into him, and the two of them go spinning around and around as Jade laughs breathily. Whoa, calm down there, Jade. It's nice to see you too. Tears are beating in her eyes as she squeezes him tight and then pecks his cheek with a soft kiss. Jade, that's your brother. John, I'm so happy to see you in person. In waking person and everything. I've spent so much time watching you sleep. Oh my god, Jade, you're creepy. Not as creepy as bro. What? Jade swings around to look at her other two pals. Come on, you two, too. Get over here. We are having a 4 times hug combo right now. Oh, poor Dave. Rose and Dave cautiously step forward, and Jade, with John's help, yanks them both into a tight embrace. She smushes them on the cheeks, too. Rose's face lights up with a blush, and Dave's nearly goes catatonic. When Jade pulls back, she's clutching John's hand and tugging so hard she might pull the damn thing off. Come on, everyone, let's go upstairs. I found a bunch of military-grade sleeping bags and Grandpa's old adventuring gear and set them up in my room. We could play with all my toys and jam out to some music and stay up all night chatting with each other. And oh my god, you're here, you're all here. This is really happening. Jade's next laugh verges on hysterical, and she's got tears streaked down her cheeks. Dave looks a little perturbed. Wow. Holy shit. It's cool, Jade. No need to get so like this. Kind of fucks me up seeing you cry. Not that I'm trying to make this all about me. I mean, Dave, you're doing a horrible job of comforting her. Jade, come here. I shall hold you in my arms. Rose walks over to Jade, extends her thumbs, and swipes them down Jade's teary cheeks in a stiff mechanical motion. Then she wraps her arms around Jade in an embrace that could generously be called a hug, but looks more like the precursor to an alien medical examination. Oh no, Rose is gonna probe Jade's butt. And John boggles at the display. None of you whack jobs know how to do this. Oh my god. Yeah, John, because out of all the other kids, you're the only one with a normal life. Come here, Jade. Oh, thank you, John. Now come everyone, let's go. And so the party begins. Tales told, movies watched, and fun had aplenty. So many shenanigans happened, so many. Perhaps someday you will recount them all in detail. But before you know it, the energy in the room has fled alongside the sun. Light. The moon and stars cast their pale gaze upon 4 supine friends, bundled up in sleeping bags and caught midway between slumber and wakefulness. Dave is rambling about some inane bullshit that nobody's paying attention to, and Rose is attempting quite terribly to lecture John and Jade on the modern reinterpretation of Lovecraft's work. You think it's about time you bowed out. It's not that you haven't enjoyed chumming it up with these kids, but you feel kind of weird sticking around overnight. You could come back later. Besides, you got places to go and sights to see. There's an entire golden moon out there full of potential friends that you knew nothing about before today. The universe beckons and you are powerless to refuse. You give Beck a little nod like, hey, take care of these kids. Beck doesn't nod back because he's a dog, but you like to think he understands. As you quietly slip down the staircase and out of the sight, you spare one last glance at the group and find a sigh escaping your lips. Everything that's happened here feels almost too good to be true. Can it last? Can this brazen wish fulfillment go unpunished? You find that hard to imagine. There is something fate touched about these kids. You can feel it in your bones. As surely as the wind whispers through the trees or the stars dance through space, As surely as the turning clocks will call the sunlight back again, these kids will never be free from the bullshit that hounds them. But right here, right now, they are at peace. They have shared this one perfect moment together, and perhaps in the future there will come more betwixt the chaos. And maybe that's enough. Victory! Okay, I'm going to take a drink break before I get started on Carcat. Yeah. We also know Dave's a furry. And not ironically a furry. Okay, hold up. I'm also going to take a little snack break. I've been streaming for like 2 hours and 14 seconds, so I need a little breaky break for a moment. Okay, I'm gonna eat 3 little Oreos. The cool thing about living in my vehicle is all my snacks are in like reachable places. Yeah. Jonderson, Gilliam, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. If you're wondering, like, my vehicle's a conversion van, so it's a camper van. Wait, what happened? I'm sorry, I'm checking like my Twitter account too, and I read something about Homestuck had all this time, all these years to reply to all rumor clear doubts about every problem during the Kickstarter and Hive Swap production. Replied to Geo's article directly, but no, they had to wait until BreadTube talked about it. I'm gonna have to look that up later to find out what that is. Because I do remember the Kickstarter for Homestuck's adventure game before it became known as Hive Swap. And I know there was a lot of backlash with that. Because of the money getting stolen is what I heard. So I'm gonna look into that. Alrighty, so I'm gonna look into that later, like off stream. And I'm gonna do one more like little chapter. I'm gonna do Car Cat because Car Cat, confident that your new friends are safely sleeping off a rowdy night full of snacks, video games, and taxidermy, you turn your thoughts to dreams, Jade's dreams, that fascinating shiny place that feels familiar the way a dream does. Prospect feels like the place you should be right now. You've got a brand new Zap Sense and it hasn't failed you so far. It's followed you to befriend several emotionally volatile teens in precarious home situations. These powers won't let you down. So you zap to the dream world. Turns out you can fly here, rad. You drift around for a little bit, admiring the glittering towers, waving lazily to all the various dream NCPs until you come upon a dome with an open window inside. A troll boy with nubby horns and a silly outfit lies curled up in his dream bed, sleeping soundly. Oh, he looks so peaceful. You imagine this is a very peaceful troll boy. Hey, hi Daisy Doo. Perhaps it should strike you as strange that you immediately know what this alien race is, but nah, you don't have time for that. Abruptly, the boy vanishes. Oh shit. You follow him without hesitation. Zap, luckily your powers seem oriented to specific people rather than places. You figure it's because this is a character-driven narrative. You find yourself in a dim rest block. There's a bookshelf and a desk and clothes hung up on pegs on the wall. But instead of a bed, there's a small tub of green goo. Hey look, it's Carcat! It's the Carkles! Carkalicious! What the fuck? A gravelly voice tinged with mania crashes over you in a furious wave. You reel back from the onslaught. Every evening I wake up to another glorious night of the universe applying its globes directly to my face in the most hilarious and juvenile way possible. I'm used to this, okay? I'm not saying this is anything new, but this is just next fucking level. Your eyes finally adjust enough to see the same troll boy from the dream world. He appears to have fallen asleep at his husktop. Some crumbs are stuck to his face where it had been pressed to the desk. He's got a zodiac symbol on his shirt, whichever one is a sideways 69. Nice. And man, he is angry, like way angrier than a normal person. I stay in this crumbly excuse of a hive, rig this place with early warning systems, and what's my reward? A deformed blue blood teleporting into my respite block like a fucking You zap out of there because, damn, you don't know what kind of early warning system he has, but whatever predators it's meant to keep away, all you have to do is shout at them. You appear on a nearby hill with 100 yards away from the hive. From the outside, it's large and leaning with square windows and an unnecessary number of balconies. Although, who are you to say what's necessary? Maybe this dude really likes balconies. He could probably use the fresh air. A couple of similarly large and lopsided hives scattered the skyline. Hives. You aren't sure how you know they're called that, but it feels right. Maybe because of the organic insectial architecture, like they were grown instead of built. I'm sorry, I sometimes have words, yes. I sometimes have trouble saying words out loud. Like, I read them differently than what they come out being spoke, so then I end up tripping over my words. So I'm sorry about that. I'm doing my best. You clearly aren't on Earth anymore. The sky is black and the bushes are purple and there are 2 moons. Neither of them is your gold moon, though. You think maybe you should be freaked out by this strange alien land, but now you are a seasoned friend adventurer by now. Besides, you like it here. It's comfortable. It's a pretty good hill. Hello, Daisy Belly. You sit for a while thinking about this hill and this universe and your place in it until the sun starts to crest over the distant horizon. Hey, idiot! The troll boy is leaning out his front door. You're sitting on the ground waiting for sunrise, so you're either a jade blood or a moron. And I know the only jade blood who lives outside the caverns, and she's a lot better looking than you. Hi, baby! Hold up, I gotta put the Daisy do up at the bed. Hello! Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Hi, baby. I love you. I love you, Daisy. Yeah, you're such a cutie puppy. I love you. Yes. You're a good girl. So, what the hell? Oh, who are you? You're not a troll. There's a substantial gap of grassy hill between the two of you, but you can hear him just fine. He has a talent for projection. Sorry. You stand up and brush the dirt off your ass. He seems a bit less angry now. Zap right over or take your sweet ass time. Let's zap over. No point in wasting daylight or moonlight, whatever. You just zap over there. Holy fuck. I love you, Carkles. A flash of gray and the gleam of metal. Bright, shocking pain opens in the middle of you. The boy stares, eyes round, yellow, and shocked. Oh, that's so cute. I have a Chihuahua. Her name is Daisy, and she's like my partner in crime. So she cuddles up with me a lot. My other dog is currently inside with my aunt. I have another black lab. Right now, I'm trying to get the two used to each other, and Daisy needs like time to decompress, so she sleeps with me in my vehicle. Your laugh comes out wet. Why are you laughing? You don't know what else to do. You press a hand to the wound in your stomach, trying to hold the blood in with sheer willpower. You tell him you were just trying to save a little time. What? The boy stares down at the weapon in his hand, a viciously hooked blade that he pulled seemingly out of nowhere. A scythe? No, a sickle. Is this kid a communist? Did communists actually use sickles? Or were they just sickle themed? There are so many communist facts that you don't know. The boy continues to stare at his sickle. Then he stares at your fingers. He looks back and forth. His sickle, your fingers. His sickle, your fingers. Or more accurately, the blood on his sickle and your fingers. He's gaping at the crimson splashes over like he's never seen blood before. His mouth moves, but no sound comes out. He haunches over himself like he's the one who's been gutted. You aren't sure what he does after that because suddenly you're on your back and all you can see is the sky. Game over! Karkat caught me! Start! We're gonna take our sweet time. You walk leisurely down the hill. The heat from the rising sun washes over your back and you speed up. That sun is bad news. You just know it. You start down the hill. Light bleeds further across the horizon and your pace gets a little less leisurely. The troll boy crosses his arms. His shoulders are round in a slouch like he spends a lot of time making himself smaller. His black painted claws are bitten down. You wave a little awkward hello. He rolls his eyes and grabs you by the arm, grips surprisingly strong. He tugs you underneath the shadowed overhang of a balcony. Okay, asshole, what were you doing watching me in my dream like some hornless posing pervert? Sounds like deep down Karkat doesn't want to hurt people, especially low bloods. I don't think Karkat wants to hurt anybody. But there have been circumstances where he has been forced to hurt people, you know. The same with Dave. Dave doesn't really want to fight because the sound of swords terrify him. And I would guess to say it causes an anxiety attack hearing swords hit against each other because of bro. And the same about his sexuality because, like, he was raised in, like, a toxic masculinity type situation, so bro's just a dick, even though, like, he's Dirk, but they're two different people. I can't even retreat into unconsciousness anymore. If that's it, I won't even slide into the nonsense of relief of death without an alien stalking me. Did one of my friends put you up to this? Was it Solux? Everybody's favorite pastime. Make Karkat's life even more of a constant effervescent shit show. You tell him, Karkat, that it's not like that. You don't know anybody named Solix, and you didn't mean to be creepy. You just found him, liked how he looked, and decided to follow him home. Like a puppy! Karkat's thick eyebrows creep upward. Okay, you know how that sounds, but you really didn't want to do it to be weird. You did it for friendship. You crave it like a mineral. Wow, very normal, Mr. Magic. Oh, but you are magic, okay? Maybe not you specifically, you don't want to brag, but you can do some pretty magic stuff. Karkat looks incredibly dubious, even more so than Rose had, who you might have described as politely incredulous. You consider explaining to him all the wild stuff that Jade told you about games and destiny and such things, but you really can't imagine what any of that has to do with this grumpy alien boy. What are the chances? Yeah. It does. I question some of the stuff they put in here in the game. Like, I question a lot of the stuff that was put in Homestuck, like the actual storyline too. Like, I question the epilogues, majorly, like, I think it's the meat version, or the candy, no, candy. The candy epilogues the most. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? I just had water go down the wrong tube. You tell him you could prove it. You could bring him to visit one of his friends. You are so awesome at bringing friends together. You could visit Solix, was it? Carcat makes a noise like a tea kettle being punched. What would that sound like? Would it be like... I'm sorry. Hell no! That Nick Biter would self-emulate if I interrupted his coding. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just, yeah, I did cough it out. You wonder if that's a euphemism? Maybe Kirkhead just like scare quotes? I don't have the energy to grub sit his freaky deformed bulges today. I don't want to know how many bulges Solix has. Everyone already suspects he has like 2. Like a shark. Okay, then where does he want to go? Does he have any more friends? I wouldn't call him a friend exactly. More like an endless burden I have been cursed with by the slithering eldritch gods of the outer reaches. If I don't occasionally check up on him, he'd space out so far he'd hit hard vacuum. How do we do this? You're actually not quite sure, but you don't want to backpedal and suggest to this cool angry troll boy that you don't know what you're doing. Do I just... His hand kind of hovers near yours. Hold on. You could hold hands, but you don't want to be too forward. You could also just hold him under the armpits. You think holding me under the armpits is less weird than holding in frond stumps? Yeah, sort of. Carcat puts an awkward hand on your elbow, then he frowns and pushes up your sleeve, laying 3 fingers against your bare arm. You good, dude? Yeah, sorry, you're just kind of warm. Thank you? You tell Carcat that he is very warm, too. That sounds even weirder. Sounds like I want to be a skin wearer. Let me touch your skin. Let's just get this over with. Try to aim for just outside his hive. His lucis isn't around, and he's usually too stoned to even notice if the roof came down. But I don't want to startle him. Cool, here goes. You zap somewhere pitch black and immediately blunder it right into Carcat. Oh my god! They're in Gamzee's closet. Could you keep it together for a single fucking glance, Nugget? You aren't in Carcat's hive anymore. You appear to be in the void. Cool. The what? Let go of me. You tell Carcat that he is actually the one still holding on to you. He makes an angry noise through his nostrils and releases you from his clammy grasp. He moves away from you and collides with the sounds like about 17 mops all bang into each other and clattering to the ground. God fucking... Something smashes. Slurry guzzling. A shower of little noises like marbles over hardwood. What even is that? Gamzee's hive is a pigsty. A light finally pops on above you. You appear to be in an alien broom closet with like alien cleaning supplies, you guess. One of the bottles just has clean written on it in permanent marker. You ask Karkat if he meant to transport the two of you into the closet. A bucket rattles as he kicks it. He yelps and jumps backwards onto your foot. What the fuck, Makara, you bottom-feeding asshole? Your personal habits are almost as disgusting as your pan-rotting purple words. Why is your paling equipment mixed in with your scrub poles? Sorry, I can't help but to a raspy voice. For fucking Karkat, I'm trying not to. It is just happening. It just keeps happening. Did you figure no one would notice? Surprise, Nook Sucker, I noticed. What in the hell? Karkat breaks off, and after a moment you realize why. Heavy footsteps shuffle closer. Someone has heard the absolute rumpus tantrum that Karkat's kicking up. Oh, hey, hold up, my brother. I'm hearing something in the scrub cubby. Some squeak beast. What's all got itself trapped? The door opens a crack. Karkat grabs your arm again. Oh, fuck! A shadow looms on the wall, wild hair and tall horns. Oh, fuck me! Karkat squeezes your arm so hard it hurts. Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck!
I'm Daisy to the Belly! Hello! Hello, Belly! Hello, Daisy Belly!
The door opens a little wider and you feel wetness on your arm where Karkat's claws have drawn blood. The door creaks and you panic. You both crash down to the floor together in Karkat's respite block. Karkat's little horns jab you in the side. What the fuck was that for? Why did you do that? Because Karkat was freaking the fuck out, you were worried the two of you were in danger, and there was some menacing asshole saying creepy stuff outside the closet door. That be Gamsey. That is a complete mischaracterization of the scenario, and I'm totally disgusted you even bring it up. It's not a mischaracterization. He was totally losing it. Look, he was clinging onto you so hard he even drew blood. You show him your clawed up arm. Karkat's reaction is immediate and overblown, which you are beginning to gather isn't out of character for him. He stares vigorously, examining himself. He appears to be checking for injuries. No, you insist, he's not the one bleeding, you are. So he's so covered up in jeans and sweater that you have no idea how he even get cut in the first place. Wait, this is your blood? Yeah, what's the big deal? Besides the fact that he totally just scratched the shit out of you, you're willing to let it slide though for friendship reasons. You figured this might just be the way he greets people. It's honestly kind of fucked up. Maybe you should just leave. Wait, what? Now you're just gonna zap the fuck out of here like nothing happened? You can't go out there. It isn't safe, not for people like... Karkat pulls himself warily to his feet. He's still looking at you like you're a bomb that might go off if he steps wrong. Slowly, he extends his own palm and drags a claw across it. Crimson blood beads up and drips to the floor. It isn't safe for people like us. Clearly, something is happening here, and it's probably a really deep and affecting moment, but you're just not sure what you're supposed to do. You bleed, he bleeds, both of you bleed. Sweet blood friends. You could fuck with that. Wow. You could fuck with that. I don't think you should be fucking. I question a lot of things. Hold up, I'm gonna plug in my tablet real quick. Awesome. Now we're plugged in. Okay. How did you get a cerulean hoodie? Did you bag yourself a high blood monorail? Now that you've established that the two of you do indeed both have blood, Karkat appears to have warmed up to you a lot. He even offers you something called grub juice, which you're pretty sure is just Coke, except not as sweet. It's almost a little salty. You take tiny polite sips and then pour it into a dead plant as soon as Karkat turns his back. You tell him that you aren't actually sure where you got this sweatshirt. You were just wearing it when you woke up. You don't even remember where that was. You just know you were standing in front of John's house and you were wearing this hoodie and you knew it was important, but it's not why it's important. But not why it's important. Possibly because it keeps you from being naked. You didn't realize it belonged to a cerulean, whatever that is. Karkat is looking at you like you aren't making much sense, which is fair because you really aren't making much sense. So you're a mutant blood alien with amnesia that can also teleport. Yep, yeah, you could time travel too. Don't push it. Karkat sits down at his desk and hits the spacebar on his keyboard. We can probably figure out whose cast sign that is. Well, not us specifically, unless you've got some incredibly unlikely and well-honed Hustop skills. You've got no Hustop skills, honed or otherwise. Yeah, I'm not fucking surprised. Here, just give me a second, don't break any of my shit. You take a glance around the room, keeping your arms behind your back, so as to make absolutely sure you don't break any of his shit. His room is surprisingly tidy for someone as scattered as Karkat. Mostly just weapons and movies posters. It all has the air of someone who doesn't plan to live in a place for very long. It feels temporary. Karkat is typing furiously with his mouth pulled into a little frown. That's his default, it appears. Every so often, though, he'll throw glances at the cuts on your arms. He really is hung up on your blood. Good news, Captor. Tonight is your lucky night. Finally, you get a chance to put your money where your dribbling, snaggle-toothed flap is. I need you to do something for me. KK, if this is more whining about the team leaders, I don't want to hear it. You just don't have the qualities necessary for this sort of scenario. And if you're just here to start some sort of slap fight for regulars, when you should probably go fuck yourself, because I've got actual work I need to do tonight. Ha ha ha, oh my god, who gives a fuck about a game Aradia dug out of a hole in the ground? And what actual work? Like, I even believe that for a second. You mean the actual work of touching yourself while sobbing into your Coopercon? Yes, hilarious, but can we skip the foreplay for just one time in our lives? All that's going to happen is you say something you regret and then cry typing over whether or not we're still friends. Okay, first off, fuck you. I'm not gonna recuperation cocoon. I don't have time for any of your pathetic burns dunking me into a carton of weak sauce. There's actual real serious shit going down. Well, now that we've wasted like 2 minutes telling each other how busy we are, what the fuck do you want? I need you to check something in the Imperial database for me, cast records, and I want you to do it without asking me why I need it. Deal? Wait, what the fuck, KK? Absolutely no deal. You didn't even try to make a deal with... You just told me to do something incredibly illegal and dangerous. Why do you need cast records? You think ancestors are bullshit. Ancestors are bullshit, fake, night dream, nonsense for kids who hate themselves and want to experience a connection to something better than they are. Face the facts, bullweeds. There is no way any of us are descendants from anybody that matters. And then why the hell do you want me to risk getting cold for records if it's a bunch of bullshit that doesn't matter? I might have a death wish, but I'm not suicidal. So either tell me what crawled up your nook and laid eggs in there, or let me get back to work. Okay, fine. I'm only telling you this because we're friends and I trust you. There's this person in my hive. Person? Yeah, they're not a troll, but they're not a drone either. I figured they're an alien, but they got a cerulean sign and we're trying to figure out where it came from. Wait, they aren't a troll, but they're a cerulean? Sorry, KK, I'm trying to wrap my pan around this, but I'm pretty sure you're fucking with me. Oh my god. Can you just run this? Give me a second. Okay, nobody's had this sign or cast name in a while. Ask your new alien friend if they know the name of Adalove. Hey, do you know? What the fuck? You stepped back from where you've been reading over Karkat's shoulder. You couldn't resist. He was just getting so heated and mad, banging on the keyboard and making weird little growly noises. You think you could just... Karkat goes absolutely silent. He's rigid. If he'd been a cat, his hair would be standing straight up. You ask him what's wrong, and he sishes you so loudly you almost fall over from shock. You strain, and in the distance you think you hear a strange, staticky whirring. Suddenly, Karkat explodes into motion, grabbing your arm and pulling you out of his respite block and down the stairs. In the living room, he tugs a thick black blanket from off the back of the couch and pulls up the rug. In the center of the room beneath it is the trapdoor. What the hell is... Be quiet. His movements are quick and panicky, but also methodical. His jaw is set and his eyes are hard as he unbolts the trapdoor, gives it a hard yank to loosen it, and pops it open. Beneath it is a rectangular pit in the foundations of the house, the size and shape of a shallow grave. This isn't the first time he's done this. You doubt it's even the 10th. So far, Karkat has struck you as a little bit ridiculous, but now there's something fierce burning in him, something angry and distilled. The sounds come again, closer this time, and you see a hulking shadow out the window, huge and menacing and armored. Blanket cat! Karkat yanks you into the pit with him and wraps the two of you in the blanket. Then he closes the trapdoor and you are plunged into a darkness so absolute it's like you've stopped existing. What the hell is going on? A drone. Karkat's face is squished against your shoulder. The fear in his voice shudders you to your bones. It's just a routine check. We should be fine down here. My Lucis dug this. It hides the temperature. The temperature of me, of us, of our mutation. You don't understand, but that doesn't stop you from being afraid. Impossibly heavy footsteps land on the floor above you. Karkat trembles. God, you have to do something. Wait it out. Flee. We're gonna flee. So you're a pretty tolerant kind of dude. You're generally down for whatever, but lying in a shallow grave while a troll boy digs his nubby little horns into your ribs and a mechanical monster stomps you around upstairs. That's kind of a lot, even for you. So you do really the only thing a responsible friend can. You get your friend the fuck out of Dodge. It was really cool of Jade to have us all over. It felt like a birthday present, kind of, especially since all of my other presents got lost in the mail. Actually, the only one that didn't get lost was a Little Monsters poster my dad got me. He gave it to me a week early, almost like he knew that something weird was going to happen to the rest of my gifts. Sure, yeah, I'm happy for you, dude. Cool that your dad got you your unbelievably crappy shit to you before he got thrown in the literal garbage where, frankly, it belongs. But why are you wasting any part of our valuable word count babbling about your fucking Little Monsters poster? Who actually cares? I don't know, I just figured some people might want to know about it. Whack. Oh, hey. Dave and John are propped up on the futon, gaming the way only bros can game, i.e. with several bags of chips and mostly empty 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew on the couch between them. Yeah, dog, saving me for Jesus and snack. Save room for Jesus and snacks. Hey, Mr. Mailman. You wave hello and try to catch your breath. You're a little unbalanced from the brutal shift between being buried alive to a chill Texas day with just a couple of guys being dudes. Wait, how did they even get back from Jade's? Oh, right. Yeah, it turns out her dog could teleport. Wild, right? Who knew? I don't think Beck could time travel, though. So don't worry, you aren't going to be out of a job or anything. And I'm probably going to ask you to zap me back to my place before my dad realizes I've been gone this long. I don't think he'll call the cops on you, but I just want to be on the safe side. By the way, who the fuck is that? And is he like, okay? Yeah. Oh yeah. Carcat. He's currently curled up on the ground with the blanket still wrapped around him. He's breathing very heavily and sort of clutching at the carpet. You lean down to make sure he's cool while telling Dave and John that he's an alien from another planet. You figured you'd bring him here since shit got a little too hot back in alien land. Oh, dope, I guess. Hey, dude, wait. He's an alien? Like a real alien? Yeah, John, Jesus Christ, look, he's got little horns. Yeah, I can see that, but come on, aliens? So this is where you draw the line. Our friend living alone on an island with nothing but her magical dog and taxidermy grandpa who she stuffed herself. Is it where you draw it? A teleporting fake mailman in a hoodie who just wants to be bros isn't where you draw it. I guess you have a point. All that stuff kind of just feels so normal now. So I guess, in theory, you could bring us to visit this alien planet, maybe? Not that that's anything I actually want to do. The places probably stink as fuck. You'd never catch me in space. Space ain't the place. Oh damn, write that down. You love a good Strider freestyle any day of the week, but this isn't Dave's route, so you return your focus back to, holy fuck, where did he go? Oh yeah, the little dude just scurried out the door. Probably should have mentioned that. God damn it, you brought Carcat to Earth and you've already lost him. Some friend you are. You zap down to the ground floor of the apartment building, nothing. You zap to the stairwell and look for nothing. No little alien boy with a blanket. Shit, damn. Remembering the time you met Dave, you zap up to the roof. You find Carcat standing silhouetted against the turgid Texas sky. Shimmers of heat haze making him look strangely artificial. He's shading his eyes and staring up at the sun. Hey dude, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. Oh wow, thank you for so much for the advice. I'm way too stupid to know to not look directly into a burning ball of fire. The pain is intense and searing, but I am just a dumb fucking animal. By the way, the sun is pathetic. Well, this is another planet and another sun. Yes, thank you. He drops his hand and turns back to you. There are still cobwebs in his hair from the crawl space. Is this where you're from? You think so? Maybe. You don't remember very much about yourself, but you seem to know much more about Earth than you do about Alternia. You don't remember very much about that place at all, except that it's called Alternia, apparently. This all feels, I don't know, wrong. Are just fucking weird. Really fucking weird. You zapped in and dragged me out of my hive to an alien planet where the sun isn't hot enough to burn. Well, it's definitely hot enough to burn, it just takes a little longer. Not just any fire, nuclear fire! Yeah, well, I don't think Carcat knows the difference between nuclear and regular fire. Hi, Daisy Doo. Shut up, I wasn't finished. Before you showed up, Solix was telling me about this game that one of his friends found. We were all supposed to play it together, and I don't know. Some stuff would have happened. I don't know why it feels like that. It feels like that matters. I just feel it's hard to describe. Flattened out. Yeah, I feel ya. You and Carcat both jumped. Dave just ninja'd up the stairs and leaned casually against the brick wall. Shit, how long has he been standing there? And where's John? Oh, he just disappeared. Wait, what? Yeah, it's weird. The swirling void wormhole just opened up in the TV and sucked him right in. What? Lol, I'm fucking with you. John's in the bathroom, but I had you for a second, didn't I? Absolutely sounds like something that could happen these past couple of days. Oh yeah, hilarious. He sure got you. Also, you're pretty sure the scene moved up here so you could talk to Carcat without Dave coming in and making all of this about him again. You just ruined the life future of the Alternian equivalent of John. Oh, poor Carkles. But I actually like Carcat a little more than John. Because everyone thinks John's just a new, cute little bean and he's just a fucking jackass. Dave adjusts his shades. Man, that is just an extremely weird thing to say. But yeah, horny dude. I mean, guy with horns? Are you talking to me? We were all supposed to play a game too, together as a group or some shit. Right, Jay told you about a game that was supposed to change everything. It's that sort of shit that makes me get this feeling, you know, more about what's going on than you're telling us. You don't, you swear you don't. You have no idea why any of this is happening or maybe not happening. There's just some stuff you seem to know, but not until you absolutely have to. You're just here. You're just sure that it's very important that you brought Carcat here. That is true. Like for Dave, it's mainly because he's trying to appear like cool. And I'm not saying like he's not a douchebag. He is a douchebag. But it's also like he's also a product of being raised by bro. And the same with like all the kids. I think later down in the series they do all mature. But I still just don't like John. It's kind of like how I don't like Goku. I feel that he doesn't have a lot of character development, while all the other kids have varying degrees of character development. Why the fuck do I have to have anything to do with these hornless freaks? Standing right here, bro, my god. But yeah, that's a pretty good point now that I think about it. You said it's important for you to bring him here, like here specifically, to my apartment. Yeah. Why? You aren't sure, you just have this intense feeling that it's imperative that the two of them are friends. They're more than friends, though. Alright. Weird, but alright. Great dude, have you ever played any Tony Hawk? Victory! Okay, I'm gonna go and get that one last ending for Carcat, and then I'm gonna end the stream after that. Wait it out. We'll be fine. Carcat mutters it to himself again and again. We'll be fine, we'll be fine. This always works, there's no reason to. A rusty grating screech as the trapdoor is wrenched off its hinges. The light pours in. Two giant metal hands reach into the hole and pluck the both of you out. Carcat wriggles and bites like a cat trying to get free. You don't have the chance. The drone tosses you bodily out of the way. Your head hits the wall and everything goes a little strange and streaky after that. When you come back to yourself, you're outside in the blazing morning heat with Karkat crouched over you. Did the two of you escape? Yeah, it was a good end. Yeah. His voice is hollow. There's crimson blood smeared on his sweater and up to his chin, and you realize it must have been from the reopened cuts on your arms. Karkat must have carried you out of the hive. The hive! Behind you, Karkat's house is in flames. The heat of the fire combines with the heat of the sun until it feels like the two of you are standing on the edge of hell. Oh my god, did the drone do that? No, my Lucis did. I told you I have early warning systems. He gave me a chance to get out before triggering it. Rip. Poor Karkat house. Is he okay? Karkat gives you a look of utter disgust. He gestures toward the burning hive. I very much fucking doubt it. Okay, but the drone is dead, right? So he's safe. Karkat releases a creaky, wheezing sound, and it takes you a second to realize it is a laugh. God, you really are an alien. Where are you even from? It sounds so relaxing. That isn't the only drone, you freak of nature. It's seen my sign, it's heard my voice. I'm on record as Cole on site. There is absolutely nowhere for me to go. Shit, okay, well, what about his friends? You really don't think Karkat is in any sort of state to make decisions, so you make an executive one for both of you. Also, it's hot as shit out here, and your delicate skin is already starting to burn. What had the friend's name been? Solix? You take Karkat's hand because the two of you are beyond holding each other under the armpits at this point. You appear in a residential street in a city, and for a second you think you must have traveled in time as well, since it is the night again suddenly, but then you look up and see the strange purple-blue glimmer in the sky. It's still day, but there's some sort of atmospheric shield between the killer sun and the city. You wonder why there isn't one over where Karkat lives. Maybe it's too far into the sticks? Karkat yanks his hand out of yours. He is still holding the blanket. He's wrapped the two of you in, staring around in nervous little ticks. He looks even more scared than he had back in his bedroom. Clearly, he doesn't get out much. Fuck. A low chime rings out through the empty streets. Karkat pulls his palm husk out of his pocket and looks at it like he can't remember what it is. Like everything normal has been wiped away, and all that remains is the frozen horror in his eyes. KK, what the fuck? I actually saw your name come up on the feed. What did you do, you fucking idiot? You're going to be a Threshercutioner. You can't just start showing up on a call list. I didn't do anything. It's all exciting. There's some stuff about me you don't know. Oh, KK, what the hell? Well, first of all, I'm right outside your hive stem. What? What are you talking about? Is this the mutant stuff who gave you a shit about that? TZ knows too. She says that she could taste our blood color through the screen, which is all kinds of freaky. How does that even work? The screens aren't scratch and sniff. How the fuck? It doesn't matter. Wow, I actually do not give a crap about any of Terezi's cackling bullshit right now. Everything is fucked forever. As if in agreement, a familiar crackling whirl starts up somewhere close by. You and Karkat look at each other in almost comedic distress. I have to go. Just come up here, okay? We'll figure this shit out. No, absolutely fucking not. Oh my god. You utter imbecile. You think your little pan sparks could do anything against a calling drone? I know you have a death wish, but I'm not going to assist you in a hysterical shit fit suicide. You don't know anything about me or my death wish, KK. Come upstairs. No. Don't make me tell you how much I hate you. Karkat throws his palm husk at the pavement, shattering the screen. Tears drip down his jaw in blurry red streaks of red. I can understand his constant fears and anger being justified. He's terrified of being killed at any chance. Just get me out of here. And don't you dare ask me what's wrong. You get him out of there. to all over, locale to local. And you take a grand tour of Alternia, a place you shouldn't know the name of, but you do. And everywhere you go, you hear the telltale grating whirl. Karkat was right. Wherever he goes, the drones follow. After a certain point, it just becomes routine. You teleport to a random location and the two of you just sort of loaf around until you hear the sound in the distance. By the time the sun starts to set, you are both exhausted and must have zapped all over the planet. You find yourself back on the grassy fields, most likely somewhere near Karkat's demolished hive. Smoke hangs fettered in the evening air. Karkat's eyes are dull, his hair a tangled mass of curls so thick they look like twisted wire. I figured out why the fucking thing didn't work. What thing? He shakes the blanket which he's been holding on to all day, the last remnant of what is most likely by now just a smoking wreck. With 2 mutants in there, we were too warm. Years of perfecting my hiding like an oink beast from the slaughter technique, and it's all been decimated by some clueless asshole in a hoodie. Karkat. No. Just Karkat out here having a normal one, getting fucked up by the waste chute, by the inexplorable march of fate and the universe. I meet someone with the same disgusting deformity as me, and they immediately ruin my life. This is why I don't let people into my hive. Karkat. There's so much hatred wrapped up in his voice and his words. You don't think it's hatred for you. You ask him what you could do. You want to fix this. I think you've done enough. Karkat bundles himself up in the blanket. Even though it isn't cold, he turns away. Poor Karkles. Alrighty. I am done for the stream tonight. Thank you all for stopping by and watching. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things of streaming because I took a month off of streaming because my great aunt had passed away this January, and I was packing up to move out of her house because I took care of her. So I took a break in order to get like a lot of the affairs in order. But again, thank you, Page of Rage, for stopping. And I don't remember if I thank you for the for following yesterday, but thank you for the follow as well. I'll catch you on my next stream, which I'll be reading 3 more parts. Hopefully I can start a little sooner.